Well, hello there, friends. Today's special video, different concept. Today we put a compilation of a collage, if you will, of my 10 favorite video on the channel since we started a couple of years ago. And those are very important. I want to make sure they become part of your repertoire, if you will. So we're going to start them all, and they all have a special reason. For instance, the first one is going to be the chicken scallopini Milanese. You're going to say, oh, it's a big deal. It is one of my favorite chicken. That's the one I eat the most often to begin with, but it's a very important technique that you need to learn how to bread it correctly. And also, we take the chicken breast and we cut it in half. I'll show you how to make a scallopini out of it. And in that same video, I'll show you how to make a beautiful lemon butter sauce. So this is going to be the first one. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you after the chicken Milanese to introduce the next video. Okay, friends, we're gonna make chicken scallopini Milanese. Scallopini. This is one of my favorite ways to make chicken. You guys you have to learn to make this. This is so simple, you're not gonna believe it. Really, really good. First, we wanna get a chicken breast, and when you get a chicken breast, this is way too thick. You see, this is very too thick. So we need to make it thinner. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, because everybody's been asking me, how do you get chicken so thin? Very simple, friends, okay? If you look at it, this is the outside of the chicken, this is the inside of the chicken. Put the outside on your cutting board. You wanna make sure it's flat, because if you go this way, you can't see what's on the other side. Here, you know what's on the other side. It's flat, all right? So you can see it right there, right? So now, friends, we're gonna go in, we're gonna cut this out. Just like this. You need a slicer. It'll help you if you have one of them big slicer like that. It helps, eh? So what you're going to do, you're going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, and you're going to slice. Okay, simple. Look, put your hand on top, and don't worry. It's not like the knife is going to come and get you. Okay, as long as you keep your fingers out of the way. Look, it's very simple, right? You put it on top like that, and you go up and down, up and down. Look how simple that is. See? A child could do this. You don't have to be Julia child, any child, I promise you. Look, 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 look. Go up and down, go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And look at this. You got two perfect scallopini of chicken. You see how simple that was? Okay, so now, what are we going to do? We're going to put them in flour. All right, simple. And do yourself a favor, please, friends. Sanitize, sanitize. I have a rag right here with a little soap, and I have a touch of bleach in my water. You remember, I always work with a little bit of bleach in my water if I'm doing any kind of protein, okay? Any kind of fish, any kind of meat, any kind of poultry. I make sure I have a little bit of soap and a little bit of bleach in my water, like a cup full. Look, I'll show you. For this big bucket right there, it's about a gallon and a half of water, right? I put a little bit of bleach, like a cup full of bleach. And a little soap, very little bit, just enough to sanitize. It doesn't smell any more than my pool water, okay? At least it's sanitized. Because if you don't sanitize, friends, and you're putting just soap in there, you need to sanitize your cutting board. A little bit of bleach is not going to hurt it. As long as you don't put a gallon of bleach in there, and barely enough to smell it, okay? All right, so now look, guys. We're going to take the chicken, and we're going to put them in flour. We got salt and pepper in the flour. Okay, salt and pepper in the flour, just a little bit. You don't need a lot, right? And then you're going to dredge them. And the reason why you're doing this is because the egg is not going to stick. The egg would not stick to the chicken if the chicken is wet. So the flour dries it out, okay? If you can't put flour for some reason, you're cooking for somebody who can't have any flour, just dry the chicken really good with paper towels, and then you can skip the flour there, you see? Or if you're in a diet, you can't have flour, you know, you never know. All right, so look, guys, we're going to take it, we're going to put it in the egg. This is just a egg, then it's broken, and salt and pepper, okay? And then we're going to take it, and we're going to put it in a breadcrumb. In a breadcrumb, not a regular breadcrumb, eh? This is a panko, a Japanese breadcrumb. And a little bit of herb de Provence, and a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano. Just to put a little bit in there. Don't go out there measuring. Just a little bit of dry herbs if you don't have herb de Provence. Okay, you want to use dry herbs a little bit. Don't be putting some fresh herbs in there. It's a dry breadcrumb, right? While I'm talking, I'm going to get my fry pan ready with my olive oil. And today I'm using an Areca lemon olive oil because I'm going to make a little lemon sauce for that, okay? Temperature is 365. It's very important to get it to the right temperature. If you go in the cold oil, the breadcrumb is going to soak it all up and it's going to get soggy instead of nice and crispy. If you don't have a digital thermometer like this, just pay attention to your oil. You kind of know when it's about to smoke, which is not good. We don't want that because extra virgin olive oil has a low smoke point. But we're going to put some cold chicken here, so we're not going to burn the oil. So just be careful. Make sure it's hot. You'll feel it, and you'll see the oil is starting to shimmer a little bit. That's when it's at the right temperature, okay? And if you don't have one of those, they're easy to get. It's a digital thermometer, then measure the temperature of the oil. Like I said, we want to make sure it's nice and hot when we put it in, so then the breadcrumb doesn't soak it all up and become all soggy. We like it to be crispy. So here we go. We'll put it in here. You put it in here, and remember the rules. You don't touch it. You just leave it in there just for a second, long enough to get it nice and golden brown. And it's going to take about a minute and a half. We're just going to wait until it's golden brown, and then we're going to flip it, okay? All right, so a couple minutes. Don't wait too long. Just double check it. And see, look. See how beautiful it is? I like it when it's slightly light golden brown like that. Just a little bit, okay? Not too much now. Don't go out there and burning it. Just enough, all right? And then what we're going to do, friends, we're going to do it on that side just a little bit. Okay, you can do a little bit more if you like it. And then I'm going to put them on a cookie sheet lined with a silpad, silicone. Don't go out there cooking on aluminum now. All right, and we're going to take them. You see right there? Turn the heat off. And we're going to put them on that silicone, and we're going to finish cooking them in the oven. All right, because it's a little thick to cook in a fry pan the whole way. If you cook it in a fry pan the whole way, by the time you cook the inside of it, the outside will be a little too cooked, right? So we're just going to take it and we're going to pop it in the oven, and we're going to make a quick little sauce, okay? While we pop them in the oven, we're going to go make a quick little sauce. So you know what I do? If I have, if I'm doing this in advance, friends, I make the chicken in advance, and I got it ready to go on a cookie sheet. Whenever I'm ready for dinner, I pop it in the oven. Lunch, dinner, brunch, whatever it is, right? Today I'm going to make a little sauce just to show you how to make a little lemon sauce with capers. But you could just squeeze lemon on it and put it on arugula salad. It'll be delicious. Sometimes I serve with a tomato sauce, with a marinara sauce. It's delicious. It's really, really simple. Think about what I just did, right? Look how quick that was, right? One, two, three, boom. All right, so you can skip the sauce if you don't want to make the sauce, but I'll show you how to make a quick little lemon sauce. Very simple, right? We got shallots. We got lemon juice. We got lemon zest. We're going to put a lemon zest in there, friends. And then we're going to put a little bit of chicken stock, maybe just a little bit of cream. What do you think? And butter. We're going to put butter. We're going to put butter, friends. We got butter. Now, some people say to me, you're putting too much butter. Too much butter. Mamma mia. This is not too much. Butter is good for you. And everybody's always asking me about my emotional support. Butter ball, but I love watching my butter. Butter is good for you. Okay, so here we go, folks. A little bit of shallots. You know, shallots, put onion. It'll be perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with onion. Okay, get a spoon. All right, so onion will be great. Shallots are a little more delicate than onion, but they're part of the lily family. Same deal. It's a bulb. How you say it? Bulb. So, all right, so we saute the shallots, and we're going to put a little bit of wine, a little bit of Chardonnay. Don't be cooking with a wine you're not willing to drink, okay? I'm going to put just a little bit of wine and let it reduce. Yeah, remember, don't be cooking with a wine you're not willing to drink. It doesn't get any better after you cook it. I find it so interesting. People go, oh, I buy crappy wine, it's only for cooking. Or then go buy crappy fish, it's only for cooking. I mean, think about that, right? It's for crappy wine. It's just for cooking. Mamma mia. All right, little lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. And you want to use a lemon zest. This is a microplane grater, okay? Everybody, so many ding-dongs out there use this tool the wrong way. They use it this way. That is not how you use it. They take the lemon and they go like this, okay? You see them all doing it. It's driving me nuts. Look, okay, so you go like this. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's true, you get it. Now what do you do next? You got to aim. So you got to aim right there so you don't go to the same place. You don't want to get the pith. The pith is the white part. So this is not how you use. You don't put the lemon on top of the tool. You put the tool on top of the lemon. And look, pay attention. Look at this. You see how much better? I never go to the same place twice. And let's see how fast I go. And guess what happened? The tool, friends, is designed right there to hold all of the lemon zest or the orange or the lime or whatever citrus you're doing. You see, look how cool that is. You see right there? Right? So now what you do, boom, you put it in the pot. Okay? How simple was that? Put it in the pot. Okay, so now we got acid in there, right? Acid. We're going to put a little bit more here. Hey, capers. Capers are wonderful. You know what a caper is? Everybody thinks they're part of the olive. They have nothing to do with olive. The capers is a flower bud of the caper bush, which means if allowed to grow, it becomes a nice old white flower. You know, I always say, what were they smoking when they come up with the idea of capers? Hey, before it becomes a flower, let's take it, let's put it in the brine so we can eat it 3 months from now. They have to be smoking something strange to come up with that idea, right? But it's fabulous, right? Little pepper, little lemon juice right here. Where do it? If you make a lot of sauce, let's say you're making for like a few people, you can add a little bit of chicken stock in there. Just a little bit of chicken stock. If you're making a lot of volume, I'm not making a lot of volume. I only got 2 scallopini in there. So what I can do is I can put a touch of cream. What is the cream going to do? You know, remember, there got to be our reason. The cream is fat. And what does the fat do? Fat helps you offset the acidity. Fat helps you offset the acidity. Remember that, right? That is why we're going to put butter in there. We're going to wait for it to get a little thicker. We're going to let it reduce. And then we're going to add butter. And I'm going to show you how to add the butter correctly. Okay, so we're going to wait for this to reduce. All right, now, friend, now I'm going to put the butter. I got to show you the right way to do it. The right way to do it, for don't be afraid now. Butter is a friend. You don't have to put butter if you don't want to put butter. But I do. So look, take the butter, take the heat off. Take the heat off. Why do you want to turn the heat off? Because if you don't turn the heat off, you know what happened? The butter will separate and becomes oily. We don't want that. Remember, butter, fat, milk, solid, and water, that's what the butter is. And if you boil it, it's separated. It becomes, look at this. Look at this. You know, if you have a little chopped parsley, put it in here. I just happen to have some. Look at this. Let me tell you something, folks. That sauce right there, on fish, on chicken, you got to rub it on your body. Do whatever you want. Look at this. Is that beautiful or what? Let me tell you, friend. This is a beautiful lemon pepper sauce. We're going to put it on top of the chicken. All right? Let's get the chicken out of the oven, and then we're going to make a nice little plate, okay? All right, I'm going to take it out of the oven. And, oh, yeah, baby. Let's double check it and make sure it's cooking enough. But look at it. This look beautiful, right? So now what we're going to do, we're going to take it, and we're going to put one in a plate, just like this. We're going to make a very simple plate, eh? Nothing fancy. Like I said, I made a lemon sauce today because I had nothing else to do. All right? Like I said, I'm gonna put a sauce on it, folks. Put a nice little sauce in there. You can just keep putting that sauce, skip it, put the sauce on it, and you can put a little lemon juice in there. It'll be delicious, I promise you. I have it like that all the time. Okay? And then we're gonna make we're gonna put a arugula salad on top. I made a little vinaigrette. There's a video out there on a vinaigrette, very simple vinaigrette. Right? Little oil and little vinegar. Good vinaigrette now, remember. A little salt and pepper. Voila. And I'll put this right on top of it, a little arugula salad on top. Let me tell you something, friends. This is delicious. This is simple. 1, 2, 3. Anybody can make this. You can, come back over here, you. Right? You can decorate the plate if you want with a little bit of sauce. Right there on the side, you see, very simple. Okay, you can just do this with a couple of capers in there and make it look pretty. But very simple. Chicken scallopini Milanese, my friends. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, let's test it. You know, it should be tender enough. Oh, there, look at it. I can cut it with a fork. It's so tender. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Delicious. You got to try it. This is my favorite chicken. I love it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that chicken Milanese. So now I'm going to show you how to do a pork tenderloin to perfection. You probably have had a pork chop or a pork loin or a pork tenderloin that was dry in the past. And the reason is because it's not brine. In this video, I'm going to show you how to brine it correctly so it's moist and tender. And also I'm going to show you how to stuff it with a spicy Italian sausage. And I'm also going to show you how to tie it with a butcher twine like a professional butcher. I hope you enjoy the video, and I see you at the end of it. All right, friends, I'm going to show you how to make this pork tenderloin. It's wonderful. The first thing we want to do is you want to brine your pork tenderloin, friends. And brining it means putting it in salt water. I put molasses in there. I put juniper berry. Then I crack my juniper berry in there. Gives a little flavor to it. Don't worry about too much flavoring your brine. The reason why you're brining is because you want to introduce moisture. See, juniper berry? Just take them out of there. They give a nice little strange flavor. You'll see. It's really cool. You don't have them? Don't worry about them. You don't need them. It's not necessary. It's one of those chef things, and it's if you got them, great. If you don't have them, don't worry about it. It's very important to brine. Have you ever had a dry pork chop? Yeah, everybody say, yeah, I got him. Pork loin, pork tenderloin. Pork is very lean, no fat in pork, right? And they makes it very dry. I mean, I've had pork chop that was so dry, and you break your teeth in it. It's so dry. So what we want to do is we want to introduce moisture. That is why you brine. The purpose of brining is to introduce. Let me tell you, after you eat a pork tenderloin or a pork chop or a pork loin, then you brine, you'll never not do it again. I promise you. You do it one time, you'll never not do it again. This will be as moist, as tender, as delicious as a tenderloin of beef. Promise you. Make sure you dry it really good now, because I'm going to put a rub on it, a little bit of a dry rub to give it a little flavor. If you do a plain pork tenderloin, you want to put a dry rub on it, okay? If you're doing a stuffed pork tenderloin like we're going to do right now, you don't really need one. But I'm going to do another one, another recipe where I put a dry rub, and you want to make sure it's super, super dry when you do that. Otherwise, what's going to happen, it's going to be like mud in there, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this in half, and I'm going to butterfly it, okay? It's very simple. You see, if you look at it right there, this is pretty thick, and it's very thin. So we're going to take the thin side, and we're going to cut it. Take the thin side, and we're going to cut it in half, just like this, and you're going to flip it open. You see, look. And when it's brine, it's going to have that pink, beautiful color in there, see? Beautiful pink color. Beautiful, right? So now, what I want to do, what I need to do, friends, is I need to pound it. So we're going to clean this up. And excuse me one second. I got to get my sanitized towel right there that I use all the time. A little bit of bleach water, because I cannot stand working in a dirty space. I'm going to move this out of the way for now. And then I'm going to put a plastic film on there, okay? And you notice I left my cutting board a little wet. And that's part of the deal. We're going to take our pork tenderloin. I'm going to put it right there. Let me get my clean rag also. Right? And then we're going to take another piece of film. Put it right on top of it. Let's get rid of this so we don't have it in the middle. And then we'll take a meat pounder. And then we're going to pound it. Very simple, right? Look. A child could do this. This right there, folks, is good if you're going to cook any roadkill, possums, raccoons, anything. You want to use this. If you have to use this, don't eat it, okay? Whatever it is. Now make sure the ends, see the ends? That's the end right there. Are thinner than the middle. You're going to understand why in a minute. All right? So far, so good. Now what we're going to do, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to leave this right here for now. We got sausage right there. I got some walnuts. And this is a spicy Italian sausage. So it's got a little kick to it. It's delicious. A little bit of apricot. Apricot, dry apricot. You don't have dry apricot? Don't worry, don't put dry apricot. A little bit of cilantro. Then we're gonna cut, roughly cut, just a little bit of cilantro. I don't need a lot. I wait the last second to chop it. Obviously, you can see I forgot to chop it. That's okay. It'll be fine. It'll be just fine right there, you see? All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my, my magical glove, and then I'm gonna mix this with my hand. Just like this, see? Just like this. You can certainly do it with your hand. It's your food. You're going to eat it. You're not going to eat my food, so I could certainly do it because I'm going to eat this. But somehow, I just think it's better if we do this. All right? So I got salt and pepper in a sausage, so I don't need salt and pepper in there, okay? This is perfectly seasoned already. The sausage is spicy Italian. It's delicious. It's got the right amount. You buy this in a good Italian market. All right, so now we're done with this. We got a sausage. Now we're going to take a film out of there, the bottom layer. All right, so far so good. So far easy, right? You notice? Little salt and pepper on the pork tenderloin because that didn't come seasoned. So we're going to make sure we come like that. Now we're going to take that sausage. Let me get a spoon to put the sausage in there. And we're going to put it in the middle. You see? Just like this. All right. This was about 2 links of the sausage. You don't want to put too much in there, friends. Because if you put too much, you're not going to be able to close it. So as much as you want to put a lot, like you would want to put all this, right? I know you. You want to put the whole thing, and then you can't close it, right? So make sure we get good with it. All right, so let me get rid of all this garbage right there. So we have a clean place to work. So now, this is when we do it, friends. And it's not complicated. Okay, look. You close the end. Tap, tap, tap. Close the end. Remember, we made them thinner, right? Right? Mm-hmm. Right? Now we take the plastic and we use it like we're going to make a sushi. See, look, 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 look. A child could do this. You see, look. Take the plastic out because it don't taste so good, okay? Take the plastic out, right? Look at this, right? Make sure you get your plastic out, right? Right there. Take it out. Take it out, take it out, take it out. Right? Take it out. Now, go like this. Roll it tight. Tight. Make sure it's all out on the side. Tight, tight, tight. And then, oh, look. You grab it right there and you roll it. See, look at this. A child could do this. Pretty easy, right? You see? I don't do anything complicated. Now what do we do? I'll show you. This is the idea is to make this in advance, friends. See, so now look, you got a beautiful sausage right there, look. Right? So let's say then you did it and it's not perfectly closed. You see, we got lucky here, it's perfectly closed. Okay, we got lucky. But if it's not perfectly closed, you want to tie it. Okay, you want to tie it, my friends. You want to tie it. Look, it's very simple to tie it. Okay, look. You take a butcher twine. I'll show you. If you don't have a butcher twine, then don't do it. Put it in a fry pan like that. Just be careful. It'll be all right. There'll be nothing wrong with it, okay? The idea with a butcher twine is very simple. You take a big piece of twine, you put it in front of you, about a foot and a half, right? And then you go like this. You go 1, 2, and then pull. If you do 1, 2, and pull, it stays, right? Look. Do like this. And now you go like this, right? Okay, so now, look, pay attention. Now you see a lot of people, what they do, they cut, they do it again. They cut, they do it again. Mamma mia, 3 days later, they're still there, right? Look, look. What you got to do is you keep your finger right there, like this, look, look. And you go over and under, over and under. You see how I do it? Look at that. A child could do this. Okay, I'll do it again. Look, look. You take it, you go under, like this. You keep this guy straight. Remember, that's the secret right there. You keep this guy straight right there. Right there, you go over and under. You see, look, look, look. Look how simple that is to do. Look how simple, see? Anybody can do this. Look, look. The idea is not to pick it up, to go like this, see? tight right there. Tight, look. You go underneath, right? Keep it like this. Do it like this. You look. You see, straight. Remember, boom, 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 boom. Straight, right? You go like this. Over and under, look. Over and under. Right there. Okay? Look how simple that is, right? Okay, so what do we do now? We take it, whoop, we flip it on the other side. And then if it's not closed good, we close it. Right? We're going to see, what do we do now? Look, it's simple. 1, 2, boom, 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 boom. I don't know about the boom, 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 but voila. You see how simple that is? What do I do with my knife? Whoop. Well, it's a good thing I got more. See, I got more where this one come from. Here you go. Voila, and look. Right there, you got a beautiful pork tenderloin. How do we get to it? I'm telling you, we're not finished. You watch, it's beautiful. We're going to take a beautiful bottle of olive oil. We're going to put a little salt and pepper right there on the outside. Look at this, friends. We're going to pop this guy in the oven. We're going to serve it with a beautiful sauce. Let me tell you, the beautiful thing is, like I said, if you don't want to tie it, don't worry. Just be careful when you put it in. It'll be all right. It won't move. As long as you take 2 tongs, you put it in, it won't fall apart, I promise you. I just show you that in case you didn't have a good closure. In case you didn't pound it good or it's wide open, you want to try to do this. But this is pretty simple, right? See? See, everything I do is simple. At the end of the day, cooking is not complicated. I'm telling you. If I can do it, you can do it. Okay, so maybe it takes you a little while to get this thing going, but it's not that complicated, right? Cut it in half, get a sausage, put a little apricot in there, put a little nuts in there, a little cilantro. Anybody can do it. I promise you, it's not complicated. So the first time, you don't do it perfect. Second time, a little better. Third time, you're a pro. Fourth time, you open up a restaurant. God bless America. All right, let's saute this. We want to get it to 375. Make sure it's beautiful golden brown, okay? Let's see what we got, friends. Let's see what we got. We're almost there. I don't want to put it in a cold oil. I don't want to stew these things. I want to get it a beautiful golden brown color. Then I'm going to pop it in the oven. All right? And I'm going to serve it with a little mashed potato, and I'm going to make a little port wine sauce. Really simple, eh? While it's in the oven, we'll make the sauce, okay? So you stick with me. You'll see it's not complicated. I don't like to do complicated things. Now, I'm going to make another video where we take the pork tenderloin. I got one right here, okay? I'm going to do it, oh. When you take the pork tenderloin, you put it in a brine. Matter of fact, that's the way I do it, because I'm going to make a paella recipe, and I do it like that for the paella, right? So I'm going to do it. We can just take the pork tenderloin, put it a rub on it, pop it in the oven, serve it with the mashed potatoes. Amazing. And when you take it, it's supposed to be pink. So it's moist, so it's delicious. Don't cook the pork tenderloin at 180 degrees. They'll tell you cook it at 180 degrees. You know, most of those people should be shoemakers. They shouldn't be food critics. A lot of those critics, I'm telling you, cook, Mamma mia, this is cook. Oh, let's do it. Most of a lot of the food critics out there, or so-called people that call themselves chefs, they should become shoemakers instead. They tell you to cook pork at 180 degrees. You know what it would do? The pork cook at 180 degrees, it'll give you shoe leather. Or cook at 165. That's for chicken. That's not for pork. Pork, 145. 145, 140, 145. It should be pink. You know why they cook it so high? Because they're afraid of trichinosis. Trichinosis! We haven't had a case of trichinosis in 55 years. It's been eradicated. Even if it wasn't eradicated, you know that it dies at 138 degrees? So whenever somebody tell you cook pork at 180 degrees, you change channel, go to the Playboy channel, okay? So let me flip this guy right there. We're going to get a beautiful golden brown. I want some beautiful color, okay, friends? I want some beautiful color. I want it to be golden brown, and I don't want to overcook it. You'll see when I take it out. It's going to be beautiful. Well, I want you to see. What am I creating here? What is that called right there? That's called the Maillard reaction. Caramelization of protein. That's flavor. That's the same deal. That is why we grill meat. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, baby. You watch, you watch. If you could be here smelling it right now, you would know what I'm talking about. This is why I love being a chef. I love the food. I love the smell. I love teaching people how to do it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Bring over here. Bring over here. Bring over here. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see, look, you like? It's looking good, right? We're gonna get a brown on all sides, friends. Remember, I want the flavor on all sides. I'm doing this to create flavor. I want it on all sides. I don't want it just on one side. What happened to the other side? If we don't get them right there, they'll cook. But then they won't have caramelization. We don't have some flavor in there, you see? Now, sometimes it takes a little time to do these things, folks, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? There's just no other way around it. All right, I'll tell you what. I don't want to keep you here waiting for me. So I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to get them golden brown. I'm going to pop them in the oven. And when we come back, we'll make the sauce and we'll serve it together, okay? So give me a few minutes. Go do something and come. Go do something. I always tell that to people. They go, well, I got nothing to do. Okay, so then stick around. All right, we're going to do it. Let's take the pork out. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here, friends. Let me just put it right here. Let me put it right there, friends. Let's let it rest for a second. We're going to take its temperature. Then we're going to get a plate. And we're going to prepare this. Beautiful, my friends. You watch. We're going to make a beautiful plate with this. Let's take the plate over there. Let's check its temperature, eh? Let's take its temperature to make sure we're good. Feels pretty good to me. But again, I like it very, very pink. I hope you like it the same, my friends. Because if you like it well done, that's not the case. That's not what you're going to get right there, folks. I'm pretty happy. I got my 145. It's going to be pink, but I like it pink. I don't want it well done. You want it well done, you keep it cook it a little bit longer, okay? But this is not going to be well done. This is not going to be well done, my friends. We're going to take the twine out right there. Except we're going to take it from the back. Look. Here's what you do it. You take it right there from the back. You cut, right? And then you flip it around. And look what you do. You put it right there. Cut. Put it. Cut. Pull it. Cut. Pull it. Cut. Pull it. Cut. So now, my friends, here's what you got to do. You got to do me a favor. You got to wait. You got to wait a few minutes, my friends. Because if I cut it right now, you know what happened. We lose all the juices. When you do anything, when you do a roast, when you do a chicken, a turkey, you got to give it some time for the juices to come back out. Because the juice runs away from the heat and they go toward the middle. We need the juice to come back out. So we're going to give this guy a few minutes. So go do something. I'm going to turn it off for a few minutes because I want to wait. I don't want to cut it out right now, otherwise I'll lose all my juices. I'm going to clean out my cutting board. I'm going to get my slicer out, and we're going to make a beautiful plate with a sauce. I made these beautiful buttered mashed potatoes. I'm going to make a beautiful serving. So give me a few minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, friends. We waited a few minutes to let it rest. Now we're going to plate it, and we're going to cook it. And we already cooked it. Now we're going to plate it. We're going to cut it. Oh, yeah, baby. This is what I'm talking about right there, friends. Look at this. It's a piece of art. Look at this. Get in there, please. Look at this. Is that a beauty or what? Is that a thing of beauty? I love my life. Okay, so what do we do now? We're going to take this beautiful sauce, my friends. Look how beautiful that is. Look at this, look at this, look at this. We made these beautiful mashed potatoes, truffle mashed potatoes. Okay. Look how beautiful and smooth that is. Oh yeah, look how beautiful and smooth that is, right? I put it in an ice cream scoop because it just makes it easier to serve it, right? And look, it's a perfect serving right there, right? And it's clean, right? And then you take it by there. Look at this, folks. Oh yeah, baby. You can take a little bit of time, very little, my friends, very little now. You know, less is more. Right there, my friend. This, my friend, is a pork tenderloin you'll be so proud to serve, and it's gonna be so amazing. I want you to try it. I know you're gonna make it and you're gonna love it and you're gonna go, oh man, I did good, I know. Well, I hope you enjoyed that pork tenderloin. And by the way, the sauce that I use, the port wine reduction, we will put the link. When you click on the video, we'll put the link. It'll be right inside that video so you can do that sauce. For the next video now, we're gonna do a tomato ragu. That is a must to have in your repertoire, friends. It's fantastic. It's so easy to make. You can use it to stuff bell peppers, zucchini, and it's the one we use to make a famous lasagna. So you have to try this. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you at the end of it. Okay, friends, another fantastic recipe for you today. A tomato ragu, meat sauce bolognese, call it whatever you want to call it. It's going to be delicious. You'll need it when you make a lasagna. You'll need it when you make a beautiful pasta. You'll need it when you want to stuff a zucchini. You'll need it when you just want to make beautiful spaghetti with the tomato meat sauce. Beautiful, very simple to make, I promise you. I got it going already, so we didn't want to waste too much time, okay? Let me tell you what I got going right here. So I got right now some 8515 beef, ground beef that I got at Whole Foods. It's beautiful. It's their prime ground beef. Let me tell you, it's amazing. Very lean, very lean. I don't really care for too much beef fat. You want fatter than that, then get 75-30, 75-25, 70-30. Higher, the bigger number is for the lean part, and the lower number is for the fat. I like it less fat possible. I'd rather put a beautiful olive oil. I'd rather put bacon. I'd rather put other fat than the beef fat. I don't really care for it. What I'm doing right now, I got it going ahead so I can save some time, is to caramelize the meat so we get the Maillard reaction. We get the caramelization of the meat. Right here, I got my onion. You know the onion is always number one, eh? And then I got carrots. And then I got celery. And we're gonna cut those very small. You notice how small they are? Look at this, look at this. And right here we're sauteing. I'm really cooking here, folks. And I'm loving it. You guys are amazing. Let me tell you, I have been doing this for 50 years. And I started YouTube just recently again. We had a channel, but I was never really involved in it 10 years ago. I was never really involved with it, but the last 4 months I decided to start it again, and I'm having so much fun. Every day we got like about 1,000 comment every day. It's amazing. You guys are just amazing. I learn from what you tell me you want to do. That's why I'm doing it, and it's a lot of fun. I'm just loving it. So look, guys, we're gonna get some caramelization right here. We're gonna get caramelization right here, and I just realized I forgot my garlic, but I got it right here. Oh yeah. You can't make a tomato sauce without a garlic, eh? So, all right, we're gonna caramelize this until it's beautiful golden brown. In a minute, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Now, right here, some of you don't like mushroom, then don't put them in. I like mushrooms, so I put them in. You know, that's something, you like it, you put them in. You don't like it, don't put them in. It's not like, oh, mamma mia, he's making a tomato sauce with a mushroom. I don't like a mushroom, I'm not gonna make it. No, don't do that. Make it without a mushroom, it's no problem. It's still gonna be delicious, I promise you. Now right here, you see what I'm doing, friends? I am breaking it up. This is something you must do. And don't do in too small of a fry pan, otherwise you're gonna stew the meat. And you're not gonna get the caramelization I'm talking about. Okay, so be sure to do it in the right size pot. So now, friends, what's gonna help us is to put some salt in here to get rid of the water in the mushroom, eh? Salt. Pepper. Let's saute the beef. I want it to be in clumps. That's what I want. I'm looking for clumps. Okay? I'm looking for clumps because it's all about the clumps. In a minute, you're gonna see, friends. You're gonna see what I'm looking for. You see, it's a time-consuming process, okay? You do not make a sauce like this in 5 seconds, eh? You know the beautiful thing about it is, you can make it and you can freeze it. Oh yeah. Make extra and freeze it. It'll be good for 17 years. I'm not sure about 17 years. I can see the recipe police already. Oh really? You can't freeze things for 17 years? You're probably right. You can't do it. So look, we're almost there, folks. Oh, if you look at, I got a recipe also online where I make it with orecchiette pasta, and I use a spicy Italian sausage. Delicious. Spicy Italian sausage, you should try it. You would love it, I promise you. It's also delicious. All right, just to wake you up. Look, we're getting there, friends. We're getting there. You see? Normally, I got a little camera, one of them Osmo Pocket, but we cooked it this morning. We forgot it. We put it in the oven. So I don't have it anymore. We're going to have to go close from this camera above right there. I want you to see this caramelization of the meat, friends. You watch. It's going to happen. All right, so look. The mushrooms are starting to release their water. The mushrooms are starting to release their water. Very important here, folks. You see right there? We're starting to look good, right? So far, so good, right? You can all do this. You know, that's the cool part of it is, folks. You can all be a great cooks. All you got to do is what? Have your mise en place, have good ingredient, and you're going to make good food. It's really not that complicated. Make sure all the water comes out, please. Please, please, the mushroom. We want the water out of the mushroom. You see right there, it's starting. It's starting, folks. Look. Look right there. You look right there. You look right there. Look at right there. You see? You see how we're starting to have some caramelization? You can smell it. You can smell it. And this right there, folks, is a must. You must. So many times you see people cooking a meat sauce or meat ragu or a bolognese, whatever they want to call it, and they poach the meat. They poach it, no color. It's like taking a steak and put it in boiling water. All right, fresh thyme, garlic, couple of spoons of garlic. This is the garlic puree I make. There's a video on me doing this somewhere. It's on YouTube. Yeah. It's me making a garlic puree. Go put a little more. Don't be shy. How long do you cook the garlic for? How long do you cook it for? Until it's golden brown. No, not golden brown. Until it smells. That's the opposite. Not until it's golden brown. Until it smells. And right now it smells. Smell. It smells amazing. So the minute it smells, put your tomatoes in there. Put your tomatoes in there, folks. This is the tomato water. This is a beautiful, you can use a Semarsana tomato. You can use another tomato. It's called La Valle tomato. La Valle. I don't know if you've ever had La Valle tomatoes. They're amazing. They're peeled plum tomatoes. That is absolutely amazing. And look at this. Look at this now. Now we're going to put the meat, and it's beautiful caramelized right there, friends. Put it right in there. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something, friends. It smells amazing. It smells amazing. And we're going to put this right there, and we're going to cook this for about 45 minutes. Okay? And let me tell you something. This is going to be an amazing meat sauce. We're going to put a little bit of tomato puree. This is just tomato puree for texture, folks. Otherwise, it's going to be too liquid. And I don't want a tomato sauce that is too liquid. The tomatoes are going to release even more water. So I like my tomato ragu bolognese to be thick. So cook yours however you want it. However you want to put it in there. You like it very liquid, then don't put too much tomato puree. But let me tell you, this right there, friends, cook it for 45 minutes. And in 45 minutes, you're going to adjust the consistency of it. Make sure it's got enough salt and pepper. And right there, that's all you need to do. How simple was that? You can all make this, friends. This is delicious. I use it when I stuff zucchinis. I stuff my zucchini. I put this in I remove the inside. I put it inside, and I put some of my Milanese sauce on top of it. I bake the zucchini. I do this with a Vidalia onion. Matter of fact, I got a recipe on YouTube with a Vidalia onion. Stuffed onion. Stuffed onion with a bolognese sauce. Let me tell you something. Amazing. A bolognese like this with a meat or with a sausage, whichever one you use, it's going to be delicious. We're going to cook this 45 minutes, and that's it. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tomato ragu recipe. So now to introduce the next video. Very important in your repertoire, friends. This is a buttered poached salmon. I promise you, even if you don't like salmon, you have to try this recipe. You are gonna love it. When I used to cook that at the restaurant, people would say to me, you know, I don't really like salmon. I said, I'll tell you what, if you don't like this salmon by day, I'll give you anything else on the menu. It never happened. Everybody would always say to me, that is the best, the most amazing salmon I've ever had. The fish, the weight of your fork is enough to cut the fish, and you'll put it in your mouth and it melts. Amazing. Just make sure you get fresh salmon. All right? Enjoy the video. I'll see you at the end of it. All right, friends, we're finally that video you've been asking about, the salmon poached in butter. Let me show you how easy it is to make. It really is. This is the beautiful Norwegian salmon that I get at the fish peddler. Yeah, the fishmonger that is in Fort Lauderdale. I've been buying fish from them for 20 years. They're fabulous. No smell whatsoever. You know, if you smell fish, not so good. Fresh fish does not smell. I don't care if it's salmon, I don't care if it's omega-3 oil, I don't care, whatever you call it, it's not supposed to smell. Fresh fish do not smell. So here we go, folks. We're going to cut it right there. We're going to take it out. I'm going to cut it in medallions. Let me explain you what I mean by medallions. First, I get my fillet like that. All the skin has been removed. All the bloodline has been removed. You can get the fishmonger to do it for you, or you can remove it yourself. I like to cut it in medallions, no thicker than maybe 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch. No thicker than that. We're going to cut beautiful medallions, about 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch thick, maximum. No bigger than that, friends. Thinner it is, easier it is to cook, and more control you have. Always check your fish to make sure there's no bones in it. Check it out. Usually the bones are right here. In case there is one, take a tweezer and pull it in the same direction. I wish there was one. I could show you. Same direction as the bone is. Don't try to put it the other way. You'll break it. Now, everybody's always asking me, says, you know, you're touching your rag, your hand with your rag, and I have to demonstrate because there's a lot of you that know and there's a lot of you that don't know. So you always make comment and says, he touches his hand with his rag. Well, my rag, yeah, my friends, is water that I have in my sink, and the water I have in my sink is my sanitized water. I use it all the time. You see, I got about a gallon and a half of water with a little bit of soap and a cupful of bleach. Not a cupful, not a cup, which means it's like maybe a half of an ounce. It doesn't smell any more than your pool water. You see, and this water right there, my friend, is sanitizing my hands, sanitizing my tools, sanitizing everything I use, you see? So now when I go like this and I clean my knife is clean, my hands are clean, and I don't have to worry about touching anything, okay? So it's really important. A lot of you are always concerned about this. Oh, my goodness, he's touching his hand with this rag. Well, the rag is sanitizing, and I'm sanitizing my hand as I go. All right? So for everybody who is concerned. So now, look, friends. This is the secret here. We must put butter on top of the fish. But if I put whole butter like that, I'm going to have a heck of a tough time putting the butter on top of the fish, brushing it on. It's too hot. So what I have to do is I have to slightly melt the butter. And how am I going to do that? It's very simple. First, I'm going to use fleur de sel. I'm going to put fleur de sel. If you've never used fleur de sel, a flour of salt. It's not really means flour of salt, but it's a salt that comes from the Galanga area of France. It's an amazing salt, fleur de sel. If you've never used fleur de sel, you should try it for fish. If you don't have fleur de sel, use whatever salts make you happy, okay? And then what we're going to do, we're going to take a bowl, and we're going to put some butter in there, and we're going to slightly melt it. So that's the, friends, and I mean slightly melted. You see? Don't be, you say it's a lot of butter, don't worry. It's okay, it's good for you. So if I melt it too much, I'll separate it. If I separate the butter, it's not going to stay on top of the fish. The secret is to have the butter stay on top of the fish while we're cooking it. So I'm going to put it in here, which is just a little pot with water in it. And I have a silicone brush, and I'm going to brush the butter on top of the fish. By the way, one more thing. You see, look how fast it's going to go, friends. You see? See, I don't want to do it too long. I don't want to do it too long. The ball is going to get hot really, really fast, and then the butter is going to separate too much. See, I don't want it to separate too much. Just for a second. That's it. That's it. We're not leaving it in there any longer than that. You see? All I did. So if you don't want to do the ball and the water like I just did, you can do it in a microwave oven for like a minute. No, never mind a minute. 10 seconds. 7 seconds. Depends. You see, that's what you want right there. Cream butter. Can you guys see it? Right there. You see, friends? I have creamed butter. Okay? So now what we're going to do, we're going to take the butter and we're going to rub it on top of the fish. I promise you, friends, this is going to be one of the best salmon you've ever had. And you're not going to believe how simple it is to make. I'm going to make it with asparagus, but you can make it with any vegetables you want. You can make it with rice. You can make it with ginger or hair pasta. And one more thing. You see, when I cut the fish in scallopinis, I call it scallopinis, medallions, call it whatever you want. Medallions, more medallion, right? You see, you're going to be eating with the grain. You're cutting it against the grain so you can eat with the grain. You see, you eat with the grain. So now, when you cut it, the weight of your fork is going to be enough. And the secret is not to overcook it. We're only going to cook it for like a few minutes to internal temperature of 125, 130. So we have a perfectly medium rare salmon. If you overcook it, it's dry. Try one time to cook it to 125, 130. You'll never overcook it again. All right, so remember, it's very important that we do this. We don't want a huge piece of salmon. It'll be impossible to cook it correctly if we have a big piece of salmon. You see, I just got it melted just enough so I could do this. So I could put it on top of the fish. You see, friends? Let me tell you, everybody who has ever had my salmon, poached salmon, and I'm sure there's a lot of you subscribers out there that have had it because they came to my restaurant or to my school in Fort Lauderdale, and they've had it, and they go, yeah, we know how good it is. And most of them know how to make it because they came to my school already, and I always taught them how to do this. This is really, really an amazing way to cook salmon. And a child could do it. I mean, really, it's not complicated, right? So a little more fleur de sel, friends. A little more fleur de sel. Use your kosher salt. Use whatever cells make you happy. We're going to take it and we're going to put it in the refrigerator now while I'm making the sauce, okay? Because I don't want the butter to soften at all. I want it to be almost congealed when I go in the oven. I want it to melt very slowly, so as it cooks the fish, it melts slowly, but it stays on top of the fish. When I tell you it's going to be one of the best salmon you've ever had, I am not exaggerating. I promise you. You're going to have it and you're going to say, wow, he was right. He was right. All right, now I'm going to make a sauce, okay, my friends? I'm going to make a sauce, and a very simple sauce, okay? These pans move around. You see that? Look at that. How do you like that? How to keep an eye on it. If you've seen I think it was the barbecue sauce. We see the barbecue sauce. I was talking to the camera and the pan was just like having some motion on its own. I'm going to make a very simple sauce, friends. Very simple sauce, I promise you. It's very simple. A child could do it. So first, we're going to take the butter out of this brush, right? And we're not going to waste it. I don't waste nothing. We're going to melt the butter in here, right there. And then put this in here. So look, we don't waste nothing around here, folks. Put a little more butter in the pan. And we're going to go easy. You got to go too fast. Take it easy. We're going to put some shallots. A little bit of shallots. We're going to cook little shallots in here. Let me get myself my wooden spoon. Right? We're cooking the shallots until they get light golden brown. The shallot. We got those amazing shallots. I don't know if I show them to you in another video. But let me tell you, friends, look at those shallots. Look at this. This is a shallot, eh? Mamma mia. French, Canadian. I mean, this is a French shallots. And this is a Canadian shallots. I don't know what they do in Canada, but man, I tell you, there's something. So look. If you could be here right now and smell the shallots that are cooking in butter, you would say, let's put a little more butter. The smell of shallots or leek than cooking butter is amazing. You know what we're going to add to this, folks? We're going to add some fresh tarragon. A little bit of fresh tarragon. And I'm going to add, if you have it. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. I got some, a little saffron. So I'm going to make a little saffron fusion. Saffron and tarragon, or saffron and anise are quite special. If you don't have saffron, don't worry about it. Don't put it in there, okay? Don't be looking for saffron everywhere because you want to make that recipe exactly like this. You don't need to. Just put a little bit if you have it. If you don't have it, don't worry about it, okay? We're going to let that oil saffron fusion do its thing just a little bit. Maybe I put a little bit more saffron. That stuff is expensive. It's amazing how expensive saffron is. This is Spanish saffron. There's great saffron all over the world. I have to be careful because one day I said Spanish saffron were the best, and boy, did I get, no, there's good saffron everywhere. I'm becoming politically correct now. Otherwise, I get in trouble. So now, the shallots are good. We're going to make a little white wine reduction. That's all we're going to do. It's very simple. We're going to let it reduce by itself. Hey, you know what I should do? I should keep my fish in the fridge. We shouldn't have a fish right there at room temperature right there. Just keep it in the fridge. Always. Your poultry, your fish, always room in the fridge. Remember the danger zone of food? 40 to 140. 40 is the minute you take it out. 140 is now when it's not quite cooked, especially poultry. Fish is okay. You can certainly eat raw fish. It's okay. You can't be eating no raw chicken. That's for sure. So we let that reduce, friends. We let that reduce. We're going to go a little bit higher. This is the easiest recipe in the world to make, I promise you. This is really, really simple. We're going to let the wine reduce, and then we're going to do some asparagus. And I wanted to show you some asparagus, how to do the asparagus, friends. When you buy an asparagus, you want to make sure you buy big asparagus. The little ding-dong asparagus, they taste like nothing. By the time you peel them, you can't get nothing. You'll say, what do you mean, peel asparagus? Of course, you got to peel an asparagus. You don't want to, otherwise you can't eat it. It's too much fiber in here. So you peel them. How do you peel an asparagus? Very simple, friends. Let me reduce this so I can talk. Very simple to peel an asparagus. You put it side down, take a vegetable peeler, and just peel it. Look at this. A child could do this. You see? Matter of fact, let the kids do it. Just tell them not to push too hard. It's very simple, friends. Okay, peel them. And you're going to say, well, I heard people say then if you break the asparagus, yeah, I heard some chefs do that, if you break them. There's a breaking point. You hear those people and things, the chef then tell you, there's a breaking point. If you do that, it snaps. Guess what? If you do this, it breaks here. If you do this, it breaks here. If you do this, you break here. If you do this, you break here. You want to see how many breaking points there is? There is no such a thing as a breaking point for an asparagus. There is not, my friends. You want to cut it in a bias, and get ready to go. Now, here's what you do with your asparagus. You don't break it. They break. Of course they'll break. They'll break no matter how you do it. So I cut them at the whatever size I want, right? And then I'm happy. I give it an angle, or I just leave it like that, and I poach it in boiling water. As soon as it's cooked to my liking in a boiling water, I am going to take it. Let me push this right here. And let me just get rid of all this. I'm going to put it in boiling water, and then I am going to, as soon as it's cooked to my liking, and whatever liking that is, that's really up to you. Depends where you come from. If you come from a certain country, like in South America, they like crunchy vegetables, green beans, crunchy asparagus. In Europe, we like more soft vegetables. So cook however you want it. I like my asparagus to be soft. So what? Look, I got white asparagus and green asparagus. So, if you can get white asparagus, they're wonderful. You don't have to get them if you don't want to get them, but you get them. Why do you think they're white? What's the deal with that? Why is it one green, one white? It's green because it grows, the white one grows because it's not exposed to light. Matter of fact, when they grow them, they put a dark plastic on it, and they don't see the light at all. So they're not exposed to light. That's why when they grow, they're white. They tested it different. I think they're very delicate. But if you can get them, just poach them in boiling water. They take about the same amount of time as the green one to cook. The minute they come out of the boiling water and they cook to your liking, whatever that is, meat is a little soft, you immediately put them in ice water. So then they're right there. They're ready to go whenever you're ready to cook them. Tonight, we're just going to saute them with a little bit of butter and put them on a plate, serve them with a salmon when we're ready. All right? So let's make sure the sauce is ready to go. I'm going to put a little, now that my wine has reduced, you see, the wine has reduced, I'm going to put a little bit of cream, very little cream, And then I'm going to put some mustard. And I'm going to use a demoed mustard seed. It's a mustard with a mustard seed in it. It's called demo or country mustard. You can get it just about everywhere, country mustard, right? And we're going to mix all this up together. Let me get a little whisk. And whisk, I have plenty of whisk. And we're going to make a sauce right there. And then we're going to finish it up with a little butter. Okay, friends? That's it, just like this. And we're going to finish it up with a little butter. And we're going to put this in the bottom of the plate. Okay? Let's just finish the asparagus. Let's put the sauce on the side for now. We're going to finish the asparagus. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fish. Actually, you know what? I'm going to wait for a second for the fish because I don't want to overcook the fish. So let me get the asparagus going. I'll take a little bit of butter. Anybody who doesn't like butter says, well, that's not a recipe for me. No, it's not. Okay, I'll tell you what. We're ready to go. I think all we got to do is finish the sauce just a little bit. The chicken stock is out of the way. Let me take it out. The water for this, we don't need no more. So all I got to concentrate on, friends, is the sauce and the fry pan. All right? So I don't need my knife here. So let me take the fish and pop it in the oven. All right, here it is. I did put the fish. The oven is at 375. And we'll check it to make sure it is. Yes, it is. And the fish is going to go in there, I would say 4 or 5 minutes. And let me tell you, friends, if you don't have a instant read thermometer, I highly recommend you buy one. There is many of them out there, friends. There's some inexpensive. There's some more expensive. There's about $100. There's about $20. Do they do the same job? Yeah. Why would you spend more? This reads in 3 seconds. This reads in 8 to 10 seconds. So if you got 7 extra seconds, you save $75. $20, $100. It's up to you. They both, I've checked them again and again and again. They both read the same temperature. But so important. If you have never paid attention to how much temperature you cook your salmon, I want you to do yourself a great favor, friends. I want you to cook your salmon at 125 to 135. Try it one time. And if you buy beautiful, fresh salmon, I promise you, you'll never change. You'll never overcook it again, and you'll always check temperature. We're talking about a few minutes here, friends. I mean, 4 or 5 minutes at the most. You'll see. I'm going to show you what it looks like, okay? Let's take those asparagus. We're just going to take a few asparagus, and we're just going to saute them. I don't need all those because I'm just making a plate, a single plate. So we're going to do some white asparagus, and we're going to do some green asparagus. All right? You know, I could put a couple of more, really. There's no reason not to. They're delicious. Right? We're going to put asparagus right there. So what do we put? A seasoning on the asparagus, just salt. And we're going to put a bit of pepper. That's all we're going to do, okay? Just salt and a little bit of pepper. Make sure the pepper is fine grain. There you go, very fine. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to get them warm, right? While the fish is cooking, we're going to get that sauce hot and finish the sauce at the same time, okay, friends? Now, the sauce has a lot of flavors in there. Let me tell you, friends, between the saffron and between the tarragon and between the butter that I'm going to put in, and at the last minute, I'm going to put some chives in there. So this is going to be delicious. The asparagus are good. I'm not looking to brown them. Just a little bit, just to get them hot. That's all I want. Especially the white asparagus, I want them to stay white. So we're perfectly good. Turn the heat off. I'm good with the asparagus. I don't want them to brown too much. And I'm going to put them underneath the salmon, you see. First, we're going to put the sauce, then we're going to put the asparagus, and then we're going to put the salmon. All right, so we're good with that. Let's turn it off. Just a little bit of butter to make the sauce thicker, sorry. And then we should be good. We're going to finish it up with a little butter. But first, let's check on the fish. Let me get my towels. Okay, now I want to show you, okay? And you're not ready yet, but I want to show you what's happening, friends. You see what's happening? I'm taking it out so you can see. Right now, the fish is probably at 100 degrees. You see the butter is starting to melt. And as it's melting, it's cooking the fish. So it's very, very important that we do not overcook that fish. So you'll see, by the time I'm done, all the butter would have melted and the fish will be ready to go. Probably another 2 or 3 minutes, okay? Make sure your fish is hot. Let's look at the sauce. Let's see if we can finish the sauce, okay? And the sauce, all it really needs at this point, friends, a little bit of butter. Now I know, I can hear you already. Oh, look at him, look at him. Look at him. This is my emotional support. I need this butter, friends. We all need it, okay? Let me turn this off. I don't need this anymore. Let's take the butter in there. Now remember, folks, the heat has to be off. Heat has to be off so the butter does not separate, my friends. You see, I don't want the butter to separate. So you immediately mix it. And voila. We have ourselves a beautiful sauce. Let's make sure asparagus did not change color too much. A little bit, but it's okay. Just a little bit. I don't want them to be too brown. Just a little bit of color is good. Just enough so they're hot. That's all I want. That's all I want. Right there. Beautiful. All right. Let's check the fish one more time, friends. And we are ready to plate. Not yet. Not yet. This oven is taking its time to bake it. But it's okay. We got time. We can prepare our plates. So we have plenty of time. Put the sauce in the bottom of the plate. Put as much or as little of the sauce that makes you happy, okay? And then we're going to take the asparagus and we're going to put them on the sauce. Very simple. And you see they cut the same size. So it makes it easier to make a nice plate with them. And they're going into butter, so they're very happy. Right? And I think we're good. All right? Very simple. It's going to be a nice dish. We're going to take our fish, which by now should be just about ready. Hopefully. Let's see how we go. Make sure it's you don't want it to be, I don't want it to be overcooked, but I certainly don't want to be undercooked, my friends. Let's look at it together. All right, so I want you to see it. I know you all want to see it. And look how beautiful that looks. You see right there, friends? Now, if you like it a little more cooked, you go right ahead and cook a little more. But I promise you, this right there is beautiful. Right there, my friends. You give it 2 or 3 scallopini, depends how much you want to feed them. At the top of it, you want to put just a little bit of chopped chives. And voila, my friends. It's simple. I want to try that piece, friends. You see, I love it. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is. You see right there, friends? It's flaky. It's falling apart. It's exactly the way I like it. Right there, my friends. It is off. Oh. You don't need a sauce. You don't need an asparagus. You don't need anything. But right there, it's a beautiful dinner. Not difficult to make. A little time consuming maybe just to prepare. But I promise you, you're going to love it. I hope you like this segment. But I hope you're going to try that salmon because it's really good. Now, to introduce the next video. The next video is about making a mushroom sauce. You would say, oh, I know how to make a mushroom sauce. This one, friends, this one is going to teach you the importance of putting the ingredient one after the next, Which one to put first, which one should put second, and which one to put third, and why. To create an amazing layers of flavors and enhancing because you are going to change the texture of the sauce, you're going to enhance the flavor to a maximum. It's a must for anybody interested in learning how to create a beautiful sauce. I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you at the end of it. Well, hello there, friends. Another fantastic recipe today. We're going to make a mushroom sauce. Mushroom sauce you can serve with lamb, you can serve with beef, you can serve with chicken. You can just eat it. You can serve it with whatever makes you happy. It's a mushroom sauce on its own. So I'm going to show you how to make it. It's very simple. I have vinegar in there. I have wine in there. If you don't want wine, don't worry. Just put a little more extra broth or extra stock, whatever it is you're using. Very simple, friends. Mise en place. That means we got to get things ready. We got shallots. If you can't find shallots, put onion in there. Onion will be perfectly fine, okay? Shallots are a little more delicate. They're part of the lily family. It's a bulb, however you call it. And they're a little sweeter and they're more delicate to make a sauce. But you don't have shallots, don't worry about it, all right? I used the big Canadian shallots. Where are they? Oh, here they are. Look at this. Look at these babies. Look how gorgeous they are. The Canadian side shallots. That's delicious. So I got some thyme and rosemary. You don't like thyme? You don't like rosemary? Put oregano. Put whatever you want. Don't worry. Sage, fabulous. I can make the same exact sauce with sage and it'll be fabulous. Okay? Sage is delicious also. Chop it very fine. And we got a garlic also, and I got a little chopped garlic. You can use my garlic puree, okay? So I got a little broth in here on the stove going, a little stock. And if you have made my beef stock recipe, you can use it. It's easy. If you haven't made my beef stock recipe, what are you waiting for? All right, now, we're going to start with butter. We're going to saute the shallots or the onion, whichever one you have, until they caramelize slightly. This is, let me tell you about a sauce, folks. This is a basic way of making a sauce. Very simple. Nothing complicated. Nothing complicated, and this goes with everything. And as I explain all the time, friends, a sauce has to be built like anything, like any recipe, one layer at a time. And the secret of it, and for those of you that have not been to my channel, this is not a tic-tac-toc recipe where we're ready to put everything real quick. We explain. While I'm waiting, instead of just cutting off and coming back when it's done, I'll tell you all about it. The secret of it, folks, is when you're done with a good sauce, you should be able to recognize all the flavors. All the flavors. So if I take my time right now to slowly caramelize my onion on my shallots, they'll be sweeter and they'll taste better. If I put all the ingredients at once, that's not going to happen. So it's very important that we do that. We're going to go slowly. We're not going fast. And then we're going to put some mushrooms, and then we're going to put some herbs. Mushrooms, friends, you can use regular mushrooms. You can use portobello mushroom. Sometimes you get them when they're very big like this. So what I do, I'll show you what I do, friends. I cut them in half, and then I cut them like that. And if they're too big, you still fold them, and you go like that. And if the tail is too big, the what do you call that? The stem is too big, you cut them off. So then you have little pieces. When you make a sauce, you don't want a big piece of mushroom right there. You don't want a big piece of mushroom. So it's easy. You cut them in half, and then cut them up and down. And if they're really too big, you can still fold them down and do this. You see? Very simple, eh? All right? So we got mushrooms. I got portobello mushroom. Portobello mushroom, I usually remove the stem just like this. See? Remove it. Boom. Those are baby portobello mushroom, eh? You take them, cut them in half. Those are easier. Cut them in half and then put them up and down like that. That's simple. Very simple, eh? You don't want them to be big. Cut them in half. Cut little pieces. You don't want them to be too big, friend, because if they're too big, they're not going to make an elegant sauce. And we're looking for elegance all the time, right? So, mushroom, the shallots are good. We're going to put some mushrooms in there. Regular mushrooms. Oh, those are baby portobello, and those are regular white mushroom. I know that's what you're going to find. You can put the fancy mushroom if you got them. You can put chanterelle, oyster mushrooms, whatever mushroom you can find wherever you are. Okay, trumpet mushroom. There's so many wonderful mushrooms you can use. So now, as we all know, mushrooms are full of water, right? So what do we do with the water? We get rid of it. And the best way to do that, friends, put a little salt in there. You're going to put salt in the sauce anyway. Perfect time to do it is now, because the salt will help us extract the water from those mushrooms. We want all the water out of there, friends. Water dilutes flavor. So we're going to increase the heat, If you happen to have a porcini mushroom salt, it's actually quite delicious, friends. It's a salt with porcini in it. I got some in here, somewhere in my drawer. Yes, right here, porcini mushroom salt. If you've never tried this, this is fabulous. I already put my salt in it, so I'm not going to do it. But just in case, here you go, just a little bit more porcini mushroom salt. All right? If you could be here right now, you're starting to smell. I want you to see what's happening here, friends, so you'll understand it. And this segment, this video is only about sauces. We're going to do a lot of those. We're going to take every sauce and we're going to make a segment just on that. So if one day you're cooking a steak, you're cooking a lamb chop, you're cooking a piece of chicken, and you say, you know, I want a mushroom sauce with it, go to the channel, go into sauces, and you'll see all of our sauces are going to be listed there so you can just make them. And we're not going to cook a piece of chicken or a piece of meat. We're not going to cook anything. We're just going to make sauces. So the rest of it, you can certainly come if you want to learn how to make a steak, if you want to make a tenderloin, you're going to make it, then you go to the channel and you watch those. There's a lot of fabulous video out there. I want you to watch them. You notice, folks, how much water is coming out of there? If I were to put my hand in there for a second, it would be all wet because of all the steam. And then not only that, you know, a lot of people say, I don't like mushroom. Let me tell you, I've been in this business 50 years. You know how many times people say to me, can I leave the mushroom out of my sauce? I said, yeah, of course you can leave them out of the sauce, but let me make it for you. If you don't like it, I'll make you another sauce without the mushroom. Unless they were just being polite. I say 100% of my customers always say, you know what? I like your mushroom. What do you do special? I get rid of the water. And look at it right there, folks. Look at it in there, folks. You see right there? That's the enemy. Right there. Water dilutes flavor and destroys texture. And I explained it better when I said, have you ever had a canned mushroom? Have you ever had a canned mushroom? The canned mushroom, you put it in your mouth, you have a nightmare for 3 days. You chew on it, it's like, ugh. So that's what you want to do. You want to get rid of the water, intensify in the flavor, work out on the texture. This is going to be fabulous, I'm telling you. We got to get rid of all that water right there. So it takes a little while. It takes a few minutes, but we want to caramelize the onion. We want to caramelize also. You'll see in a minute, when there's no more water in this pan, you'll see what's going to happen. So I'll tell you what we're going to do, folks. To make the video go a little shorter, we're going to let this reduce, and we're going to come back, and it's going to take about 2.5, 3 minutes, okay? We're going to come back in 2 or 3 minutes, then you'll see what's going to happen. Okay, and another thing that I like to do, friends, I want to show you. First of all the water is gone, but I like to clean the side of the pot. This is a reduction saucepan that I got there. It's best to make a sauce in a reduction saucepan for so many ways, but to allow reductions is really, really much better. Great design. Now look, you see, all of the water is gone, a little bit of moisture left, but very, very little. Now let's put the rest of the ingredient, and what order do we put them in? Okay, number one, we have established shallots or onion, caramelize them. Mushroom, number two, to get rid of the water. Okay, if we were to put wine or broth or stock on top of the mushroom when they haven't released the water, guess what? They will never release their water. Okay, when do we put the garlic? We put the garlic whenever we're ready to put some moisture. I'm going to put some moisture in a minute, okay? So I got chopped garlic. I got fresh thyme, fresh rosemary. You can put oregano. You can put whatever herbs you want to put in here, right? We're going to mix them up. We're going to mix them up. Now, what happened is the second the garlic releases its fragrance, which will be about a few seconds, maybe 30 seconds after you put it in. As soon as it reaches 148 degrees, the garlic releases its fragrance. And okay, I can smell it now. So next ingredient, remember I'm going to build one layer on top of the next. Okay, this is how you make a perfect sauce that has depth to it. We're going to put a little bit of the balsamic vinegar. You don't have balsamic vinegar? Then don't put it in. Don't worry. It'll be all right. I'd rather you, if you don't have a sweet aged balsamic vinegar, I'd rather you don't put it in, okay? If you have it, this is my famous fig balsamic vinegar I put in. You don't have any? Don't worry. Don't put it in. We're going to put some wine in there now, okay? So it's very important, layers on top of layers. And we're going to let the wine reduce. Measure carefully, okay? It's about, I don't know, about a cup of wine I put in. Now I'm going to bring it on high because I need to reduce all the alcohol. Let me explain. It's very important that I explain everything. So then you know how to make it, for friends, okay? See, as simple as it is, you would be amazed at how many people just don't follow the order. You got to follow the order, okay? So like I say, vinegar, you don't have it, don't worry about it. Wine. I use a regular red wine. This is a Shiraz. I like a thick, full body wine. People say, what kind of wine do I use for cooking? Use the wine you're willing to drink. If you're willing to drink a $3 bottle of wine, use a $3 bottle of wine. If you're not willing to drink it, then don't put it in the sauce. It doesn't get any better if you cook it 15 minutes. I promise you, wine don't get any better if you cook it 15, 20 minutes. Okay? Quite the contrary. Okay, you start with a bad bottle of wine, you're going to end up with a bad sauce. Don't think because it's only for cooking, I'm going to put a $3 bottle of wine in there. It's going to be delicious. No, it's not. I promise you. Buy the wine you can afford to drink. Use a Cabernet Sauvignon, use a Shiraz, use a Bordeaux, use a whatever makes you happy. That's the whole idea. There's no right or wrong. If it makes you happy to drink it, it'll make you happy to cook with it. And you know, you need 1 cup. What's the big deal, right? You save the other bottle for you to drink for dinner. All right? You don't want wine? You say a lot of people can't have wine because of, you know, whatever purpose, whatever reason, it doesn't matter to me. Use extra broth or extra stock. That's all. It's very simple. Don't worry about it. This is cooking. You know, we're not sending a man on the moon where we got to land right there. All right? We're making a mushroom sauce, friends. It doesn't matter. Make it your way. It's your sauce, okay? There's no right or wrong. But it's important that when you finish, I want you to be able to test the shallots and the mushroom and the herbs and the garlic and the vinegar and the wine, all this in different layers. The idea of a good sauce is like it comes in layers in your mouth. It's not like, I'll explain it, because I got to wait for the wine to reduce, right? Because you can't put the broth on top of it, otherwise the wine won't reduce. Sometimes you go to dinner and you eat a steak or you eat a piece of fish, right? And you put it in your mouth and you're having a conversation with someone, right? And then I'm just kind of imagining people who have never been to my channel, right? So I gotta wait. And I'm still forgetting the story. So we go out to dinner, right? And you eat and you're having a conversation with somebody and you just keep talking and you keep talking and you're eating, right? And sometime you go to a restaurant, you put a bite and you put it in your mouth and you go, oh my God. That is a sauce with dimensions. That is a sauce that has depth to it instead of like a sauce, excuse me, a sauce, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say? Anyway, I hope you know what I'm trying to say. Dimensions is everything in cooking, all right? Reduce the wine, reduce the wine, reduce the wine. How do we know it's reduced? Here's what you do, my friend. You take a spoon and you test it. It's hot. If it's good, then you put your broth on it. If it's no good, keep reducing it, my friend. Keep reducing it if it's no good. Okay, if you start with a decent bottle of wine, you're going to reduce it. It's going to be nice and sweet, I promise you. Okay, but if you start with a bad bottle of wine, I don't care how long you cook, it's never going to be any good. All right, so look, I got my broth, and for those of you that have made it, you know this is a beef broth. Okay, we're going to put a little beef broth in here. Okay, I'll give you the exact measurement. That was about a cup and a quarter, cup and a half, right, of beef broth. And I got to adjust the seasoning, and I got to put some black pepper in there, and I got to put more salt. I might as well put my porcini mushroom salt. Okay, because I was just testing it. It's very important, friends. You got to constantly test it. All right. So now, remember, you don't put the broth until the wine is reduced. If you put the broth before the wine is reduced, then guess what? The wine is not going to taste very good at all for you. You have to get rid of that alcohol. It's called reduction. That's the whole purpose of it. Okay, now, let's look at something here, friends. We got a sauce. Then I could certainly reduce to the right consistency. But now I got 4, 6 people for dinner, 8 people for dinner. If I reduce this to the right consistency, meaning enough so it coats the back of the spoon, it has nice thick consistency, it stays on my steak, on my chicken, on my fish, wherever it is that I'm using it for. I won't use this for fish, but it has to have the right consistency. So you can reduce it to the right consistency, but if you reduce it, you got nothing left, my friends. You got nothing left. By the time I'm done, I'll be lucky that they call it the reduction for a good reason. You got nothing left. So here's what I like to do. There's no reason for me to cook this any longer. No reason to cook it any longer. The stock is cooked. They're already cooked for 24 hours. The wine is reduced. Shallots are reduced. The mushrooms are cooked. Everything is down. So now what I need to do, if I reduce completely, like I said, I'm going to lose volume. So what I like to thicken it. So there's many ways of thickening it, friends. Some people say, oh, you got to have a roux. You got to have a... Not everybody has a roux at home, okay? You can use a cornstarch or arrowroot. It's easy, okay? Tapioca powder is another great thickener. Beurre manier. There's so many ways to thicken a sauce, folks. I make it the way everybody can make it. Everybody can have it or cornstarch or arrowroot. You mix it up with a little water, the enemy, and then you put it in. Now remember, whenever you're working with cornstarch, you want to make sure it's boiling, okay? And when you put it in, put little first. Put little first, friends, and see what happened. See what happened. Just look at it, okay? Look at it and say, oh, okay, this is still too thin. Remember now, cornstarch works right away. You put it in, and within maximum a minute, you know exactly what you're going to get. All right, so don't put too much of it. Put just a little bit more. See, that's the way I like to do it, friends. I like to put a little bit at a time. You see? And then we're going to look at it in a minute. We're going to look at it again in a minute. We'll look at it together, okay? Let's take a spoon. Not this one, I already used it. So let's get that right there. Look at this, friends. Look how beautiful that is. You see? Look at that sauce. It's still a little too thin, you see? Just a little too thin. Not much thicker. Now, we're going to finish it up with a little butter. But let's test it again, eh? Oh, it's hot. Whew! It's delicious, but it's hot. All right, so it needs to be a little thicker. So, remember, mix it, put it in. All right, so now I think that's going to do it. All right, so now, friends, you can certainly add butter to this right now and serve this on top of anything, my friend. Look at this. Look how beautiful this is, friends. Look at this. Look how gorgeous. You can put this on anything, friends, I promise you. Or you can put a little cream in it. Why don't we do that so you see it? I want you to see it. I want you to see what happened when you put a little cream in there. Let's change the whole thing, okay? Let's change the whole thing right there, friends. I promise you. You put a little bit of cream in there. Okay, pay attention. You watch. It's going to be very little cream, friends. Look. You know, I'm not going to measure it but I want you to see it. Look, a little cream that was. You see how little that was? Okay, maybe just a little bit more. Now you put it, see, very little, right? Put as much or as little as you want. It's really up to you. Just a little bit more. What do you think? Okay, I just wanted a nice color changes. You see? Right there, my friend. Look how beautiful that is. You can pour this on anything. I don't know, lamb chop, pork, just a little bit more. You think I'm going to get it together? Eventually, right? All right, so now turn the heat off, because I'm going to show you the most important thing we need to do now is now we need to put a little butter in there. Oh, yeah. Okay, so now, how do we put butter? Well, we turn the heat off. We make sure there's no heat at all, okay? And then we take a little butter, or whatever amount you want, and you put it in, friends, and mix it up right away. You do not want it to separate. Remember when we put the butter, when we clarify butter, we bring it to boil. That's how you separate it. You can bring it to boil. Well, the last thing I want to do here, my friend, is separate my butter. I want it to be creamy, so I don't want it to separate. Now, at this point, you could put a little bit of chopped parsley in here for extra flavor, no, extra color. In fact, I think I have some. I'm going to put some in there, my friend. You'll see. It'll really transform. If you have it, don't be afraid to put it in. I think I got some, because I was ready for another recipe I had in here, but I'm going to use it for here. Just a little chopped parsley, you see? And right there, of course, you can make it a little lighter if you want. If you're going to serve it with pasta, I think you'll make it a little lighter. This is really, there's no right or wrong here, my friend. It's whatever makes you happy, okay? And voila. Right there, look how beautiful that is. We're going to take it, and I'm going to put it in a gooseneck. I got a gooseneck right here. So remember, I always have a little extra stock on my kitchen counter. I always have a little extra stock. But again, and then we put it in a gooseneck. Look how gorgeous that is, friends. Look how beautiful that sauce is. Look at this. You see how beautiful that is? Let me tell you something, friends. Now you know how to make a perfect sauce. And the beauty is, not only do you know how to make a perfect sauce, but you can change the flavor. You can make it your own. Remember, change the herb. Put tarragon in there. Put sage in there. Put whatever you want in here. This is a very simple sauce to make. Put a chopped parsley right there on top. You put this on top of the table. They'll fight for it. Friends, an easy mushroom sauce. Remember, you can't put the wine. You don't have the vinegar. Don't worry about it. Put some nice broth with it, and you'll be perfectly fine. Enjoy beautiful mushroom sauce. I hope you enjoyed the segment. Remember, ring the bell. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up if you like the video. We'll see you next week with another fantastic video. Thanks for watching. Well, that sauce was amazing. You got to learn to make it. It teaches you how to put the ingredients in the right order, friends. You can use it on pork. You can use it on chicken. You can use it on veal. You can rub it on your body. It's that good, I promise you. Now, my friends, my famous beef stew. This is an amazing recipe. You're gonna love it, and I show you in it an interesting way to thicken the sauce in it too. I know you're gonna love that stew. Stay tuned. We're gonna do it right now together. Okay, friends, this is a fabulous beef stew. You're gonna love it. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our pot ready, and I got some ground chuck. I got some chuck roast right there that I just cut up in little pieces. Little pieces. They're kind of like a big bite, right? You can cut them in half with a fork when you cook, and we caramelize them. So I have a few of them. I want to show you how to do that. I got some onion, and I'm going to saute some pearl onion. I like a pearl onion, so it's nice and good looking. I was looking for cipollini onion today. Couldn't get them. Cipollini. Cipollini is it's a little flat onion, but that big right there. It's a little flatter, and it's really, really delicious. But I couldn't find any. So I got the onion right there, the pearl onion. I'm gonna put them in my oil. Let me double check to make sure my pan is hot. I want it to be about 365, and then I'm gonna saute my beef. I wanted to show you. By the way, you see, I got everything ready. Yeah, I got everything ready, meaning that my mise en place is ready. Everything is chopped and ready to go. I just have a few more things, and the things that I haven't done is because I want to show you how to do it. All right. So first, we're gonna saute the onion. We're gonna caramelize them. The onion is always number one. Eh? Always. The onion is always number one. That means it's always the first ingredient you put in. Okay. I don't care if you got a pearl onion, if you got cipollini onion, if you got a whatever onion you want to caramelize them, right? So now, this is the beef. Then we're going to use this as a chuck roast. I find that chuck roast makes the beef stew, the best stew. We're going to really, really, really caramelize them so they look real pretty, okay? Not only do they look pretty, but we're creating this Maillard reaction where we have some caramelization of the protein. It's very important, friends. Really, really important. So salt and pepper. Don't be afraid to put salt and pepper, right? And we're gonna put them in there and don't touch them. Leave them alone. Let them get golden brown, okay? Same deal with the onion. Leave them alone. Let them do their thing, right? I got everything ready. You're gonna love this recipe. It's I got port wine in this recipe. I'm gonna have port wine in this recipe. Then I got mushrooms, and I got a bunch of vegetables also, but I'm gonna put the vegetables toward the end. Remember, when you do this, you heard the expression, it says, put the beef in the pan without crowding, right? Without crowding. That means don't do this. Don't put them on top of each other. Otherwise, the moisture of this guy is gonna go to this one, is gonna go to this one, and we're gonna stew. And if we stew, we don't get this caramelization right there. See it? See what I'm talking about right there? That's what I want right there. That caramelization, okay? So look, that's why you don't touch it. You put them in, leave them alone. No different than if I took a New York strip or a filet mignon and I'm cooking it in the pan. I put it in the pan, I leave it alone. All right? Leave it alone so it has an opportunity to caramelize, right? The onion are going to start caramelizing. The beef is right here. I got some mushrooms in here, friends. Then we're going to use. And And you know what I like to do is when I eat a mushroom, I do not slice them. I cut them in quarters. If they're too big, I cut them in 8 or 6. So they stay nice. You see what I mean? You don't slice them. Like I said, if they're very big, cut them in 6. Okay, if they're small, just cut them in quarters. It doesn't really matter. But you don't want to slice them. Okay. See, look, cut them in 6s. All right. So we got our mushroom ready to go. And now let me see. Let me see how we're doing here. Okay. One more thing. Mushrooms. What are mushrooms made out of? If you took my class in my school, you know where I'm going, right? Mushrooms are made out of what? Water. 90% water. What does water taste like? Nothing. So you want to keep your water in there, that's up to you. I'm not interested. I don't want an ingredient that tastes like nothing in my food. Okay? Well, look. Can you get that? You see how nice that is, folks? All right, so the beef is done, okay? All we did, let me just push this pot over there. I like this burner better. All right? So now, friends, we're going to get rid of the water in the mushroom, okay? Anything with water. I don't understand people adding water to their food, okay? If I'm going to add a liquid to my food, or see like this pan though, by the way, look at this pan right there, folks. See right that pan? That pan right there, I got a little camera in here. It's full of grease from the meat. That pan right there has got some beautiful burnt bits right there. So you know what I do after I'm done with it? I take my port wine and I deglaze the pan. Yeah. Yes, sirree. Take that pan right there and you can deglaze it, you see? And then we'll take this and we'll pour it in there. All right? So, yeah, we don't want to lose an opportunity for flavor. You know, to me, cooking is like building a building. A first story, you don't put a second story until the first one is ready, right? And you don't put the third one until the second one is ready, right? Okay, same deal. So now look. I got the mushroom in here cooking, and the mushrooms are going to be releasing their water. What would help them get rid of the water? Put it down there. Let's see how many of you know that. What would help me get rid of the water on the mushroom? Anybody know? Salt. Yes, sirree, salt. Right there. I got this beautiful Mediterranean sea salt that I'm going to put on there. That's going to help me draw the water out of the mushroom. That water, the enemy. The water is not good. You know what I find interesting? You're probably with me too, with this one. When somebody uses dry mushroom, you know, they use this beautiful dry mushroom. What's the first thing they do before they use the dry mushroom? Then put them back in the water. What is wrong with you people? Okay, if you have a dry mushroom, you don't want to rehydrate it in water. Water tastes like nothing. Put it in wine, put it in broth, put it in stock, put it in something else than water. How great is that if you picked wine, and let's say you picked the mushroom, and inside the mushroom there's Madeira wine. Oh, you can't buy those. But if you buy a dry mushroom, and you rehydrate them in Madeira, you got a Madeira mushroom. Well, that'll be something I should do. What do you think of that idea? Let me know in your comment, okay? Now, if you could be here right now, you would smell, it's hot. You would smell onion and mushrooms that are not releasing their water. Now, what's going to happen when they release their water, friends? They become nice and small, and that's okay. I don't need the water. Have you ever chewed on a canned mushroom? Don't do it. Don't ever chew on a canned mushroom. That'll give you a nightmare. I'm kidding. You think I'm kidding? No, I'm not kidding. We're going to put the garlic. And as soon as you smell the garlic, friends, the second you smell the garlic, which should be about right now, we're going to put our tomatoes. Or anything liquid. Okay, our tomatoes. I got beautiful tomatoes. And then, you know, I'm going to put the port wine that I got right there that I got from the pan. And earlier, I had the beef in it, right? I'm putting it in there, and I'm using the whole thing right there, right? All right, so far, I got tomatoes, port wine, mushrooms, fresh thyme, fresh rosemary, little bit of tomato puree. Let me get a spoon. Little bit of tomato puree. All right. We're gonna bring up the heat. It looks like it's slowed down all of a sudden. Okay. I got tomato puree, and you know what I got also is cherry tomatoes. Have you ever used cherry tomatoes? Oh, they're fabulous. They're fabulous. Cherry tomatoes are fabulous. They give you a really, really nice texture to begin with, right? Nice texture. Cherry tomatoes. Look, look. But the problem is with the cherry tomato can, they got a lot of water in there. Look. I don't know if you guys can see that, but look at that. They got a lot of water. See, look at this. So I do it, taking the water out of there. Look. All right? If I want the water, I'll add some. We're going to put a little more port wine. You notice everything is carefully measured, eh? Be careful. Then we're going to put the beef that we sauteed earlier. All right, so to save some time. We're going to mix all this up. And then we're going to put beef stock. All right? Now, I'll talk about beef stock in a second. We're going to put a beef stock, okay? All right. Now, beef stock, friends, may be one of the ingredients that you don't necessarily have access to it. You see? Not everybody's got access to a beef stock. So what I do is we make our own beef stock, of course, because we have a commercial kitchen. Not exactly easy for people to make a beef. Look how beautiful that is. Look at this. Look how nice and thick that is, folks. Look at this. See how beautiful that is? And the reason why it's beautiful like that is because when we make it, we put tomato paste in it, and we cook it for 24 hours. So not exactly easy to do at home, right? How are you going to make a beef stock you're going to cook 24 hours? So see if you can find a shop that has a beautiful beef stock. If not, what do? I'll tell you what you do. Oh, it's starting to look good, friends. I'm telling you. I'm coming back here more often. The food is delicious. Let me tell you what you do, friends. You get yourself and you know we're going to add to this, we're going to add some, I got those baby potatoes. Look, look, look. I got them cooked already. I'm going to finish them up. Look how cool they are. Little baby potatoes. Right, little baby potatoes. And I got those baby Brussels sprouts. I already poached them. And then I got those little baby carrots. Look how small they are. So I sauteed them. I already poached them, so they cook, right? So I'm going to saute them in butter. I'm going to add them at the end. Because if I add them down, they're going to fall apart. This guy's going to cook. This is going to cook for 2.5 hours. This is ground chuck. You want it to really, really, really be tender. You got to cook it for 2.5 hours at a very, very, very low heat. Okay, that's the secret, okay? So, where was I? Oh, yeah. Sometimes I lose track of what I'm talking about. And there's nobody here to remind me, so to go back to the thing. But I was talking about a beef stock. So what do? Well, you buy a good beef broth. And add some tomato paste to it. If you have some extra leeks, carrots, celery, and onion, add it to it. And cook it for a little while with a tomato paste. And look, it's going to give you a rich consistency like this. And you can keep it in the freezer for 17 years, approximately. Don't quote me now. I can see people going, 17 years. We got, you know what we got with YouTube? We're good, we're lucky. We got recipe police. I love it. I got this thing where I do a recipe on where I'm peeling a tomato concassé, right? I'm showing people how to make a tomato concassé. I'm putting it in the water, and I said it should take about 10, 12 seconds. You know how many of them said, oh, it took 23 seconds. It took 20 seconds. I'm glad they got a better clock than me. Now they got better things to do than, oh my goodness, he said 12 seconds, it's 23 seconds. What's wrong with him? Don't you have better things to do? Jesus Christ. Anyway, so look, now let's talk about thickener a little bit. You know, I like my beef to be so I'm going to put a little more beef stock. Okay, well, why am I putting more? You're wondering, why? What's the matter with him? Well, because I like it to be submerged. I like my beef to be all submerged, you see? Right, submerge. That's, you know what that means, right? Submerge, like you're submerging it. All right, so now, flour. I could have put flour when it was dry, right? Dry beef, and you put it on there. A lot of people do that. I think it's okay. I got a much better trick, though. Pay attention. I'm going to teach you something. You want to thicken something? By the way, when do you put the flour? At the beginning or at the end? Beginning or the end? Beginning or the end? Nobody knows. Yeah, unless they've been to my class. If you've been to my class, you know. Beginning, the flour goes in at the beginning of the dish, not at the end of a dish. If you put at the end of the dish, it tastes like glue. Yeah, glue. You know, when I was a kid, we used to make stuff with flour and water, glue them together. There was glue. The stuff I glued 50 years ago is still glued up, okay? So when you eat raw flour, it's in there, and it takes a while to get rid of it. You know, I always explain people, Thanksgiving dinner. Most people, they take the dripping of the turkey, right? That turkey fat crap, and they add flour to it, and they give it to their guest. And what do they do after they eat the Thanksgiving dinner? They sit on the couch, and they go, oh, I can't move. I can't move. I ate too much turkey. There's not enough tryptophan in 5 turkey to put you to sleep. It's the glue you just consumed, okay? You consumed turkey fat and raw flour. Yeah, good luck getting up the couch. Anyway, so look, I was going to show you a trick. The flour, okay? Look. If you've been in my class before, you're probably laughing right now because you know where I'm going. But if you've never been to my class before, you're going to wonder. So I'm going to put the flour in here. See how many of you reacted already. You don't put it in here. If you put it in here, well, I'll have a huge mess, right? So pay attention. Look. You take the strainer, right? Take the strainer. Put the flour in there. Take the whisk right there. Right there. Look. Look at this. See, you make a paste right there, right? And you bring it in. You bring the stock in. See, bring the stock in. Don't be afraid to bring the stock in. And look. You see what happened now? Now you got beef stock that is lightly thickened with this flour that we're going to bring in. Because you don't remember. Let me just use the spatula right here. We're going to put it in. You see? Now let me tell you something, friends. When you have a soup, a gravy, a sauce, then you want to thicken. Now, remember, you can't do that at the end. Now, don't be doing that Thanksgiving deal I was just telling you about. Don't be doing that. Not working. So now look, we'll go back and put a little bit more. Maybe I put just a little bit more stock on top of it. I want to get rid of it all. You see, look. And then we're going to mix it up. Now, if at the end, all right, look, no lumps, none whatsoever. It's an easy way to do it. But you have to use the double mesh strainer, very fine strainer, right? When you do this, and you mix it up, you see, look. Now, if at the end, because the tomatoes are going to release more water, you know, we're not at the end right there, you know, so it's very possible then we need more flour, because I didn't put that much flour at all, okay? It's very possible then we need more. At the end, we won't be able to add any more flour because it has to have time to cook. So I could fix the consistency with a little bit of cornstarch at the end. But flour, of course, look, if you're a professional cook, you have a roux. You have a cooked roux, you can put that in there. But most people don't have a cooked roux. You know, trust me, I know. That's what I do for a living. I teach people. Okay? This is my thing. Okay? And I know that most of you don't have a cooked roux at home, so you need to thicken, and this is a perfect way to do it. So we're gonna let that cook very slowly, bloop, 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 very slowly, yeah, not bloop, 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 that's no good, bloop, 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 very slowly, right? Let it cook. We don't cover it. We just bring it to boil. The minute it's boiling, you reduce, you let it cook 2.5, 3 hours, depends on your meat. You'll know when you take you know how I do it? I take a wooden spoon right there, right? And I go in and I take a piece of beef and I put it on the side. And if it starts to fall apart, then I'm going to test it. I know it's going to be almost ready to go. We'll season salt and pepper toward the end and we're done and ready to go. Let me tell you something. This, with the mashed potatoes, all the vegetables are there, amazing. Make extra because the fries is beautiful. I'll be back when it's cooked and we're going to serve it. All right, friends, we're 2.5 hours went by. It went so fast, especially for you guys. And this is cooked. And I want you to see the thickness of the sauce. You see, it has to be covering the beef, right? So you see, look, there's sauce on the beef. If it was too liquid, it wouldn't be on the beef. It's kind of like when I make a gravy for Thanksgiving. I want it to stick on top of the turkey. Same deal here, you see? The sauce is on top of it. So what we're going to do, we're going to plate it. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my serving spoon, and I got myself I love those big plate, big serving plate like this. I mean, we can certainly use the mashed potatoes, and we can do all that. But I got those cool little vegetables. Then I did some baby Brussels sprout and carrots, and so I'm gonna do this right there, right? And I sautéed some baby carrots and the Brussels sprout, and I sautéed them at the last minute. They're cooked, right? So we poached them already. They're done, and I just finished sauté them in butter real quick. You see, just like that. Just really simple. Just let's not go crazy here, right? Just like that. Right, and we got a couple of carrots in there, nice, right? And then I got those baby potatoes I was telling you about. So I cooked those separately. I mean, you can cook them inside if you want, the potato. But you know what I find? I find that if you cook them inside, they lose their colors and everything, and they're not that attractive anymore. But they're delicious. I mean, they'll be the same, right? It'll be almost the same. So just make sure your product is nice. It's looking pretty. We got mushrooms, we got potatoes, we got all that stuff right there. You know, the caramelized onion right there. Look at that. Oh yeah, baby. This is it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go now. Look. I'll put a little bit of chopped parsley in here. Oh yeah, baby. Now that's, friends, that is a beef stew à la façon Jean-Pierre. That would be very French. That's for all of you that thinks I'm faking the French accent. À la façon Jean-Pierre. You have to be French to say that, okay? So, God bless America. I love it. This is beautiful. You guys got to make that beef stew. That's an amazing dish and so simple to make. Remember, you're going to need 2.5, 3 hours to cook it very slowly. I use chuck roast. Use whatever makes you happy, as long as it's nice and tender. And this is beautiful. You got to try to make that stew, friends. It really is the most amazing beef stew I've ever had. You're going to love it. And how do you like that trick about how to thicken it correctly? And now to enjoy the beef stew even more, the next video, a phenomenal garlic bread. Oh, you're going to see how easy it is. And it's fabulous. Great one to serve with a beef stew. Enjoy the video. Well, hello there, friends. That's going to be a quick one today. I'm going to make you my favorite garlic bread. Really simple to make, okay? We got bread, and we got butter and garlic. You know that's going to be good, right? So, I got a butter that is softened. I put it in the oven for a minute. You want it to be really soft, friends. Otherwise, you're going to have a heck of a time to do what I'm about to do, okay? So, if you don't have I always have some kind of an oven going in my kitchen, but if you don't, just put it in the microwave for like 15 seconds. Don't put it too much, otherwise it'll completely separate on you, and you don't want to do that. You just want to soften it, you see? All right, so we got chopped basil and chopped parsley. I mean, this is really like a no-brainer, eh? And chopped parsley, okay, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Let's look at it to see if we have enough. You see, I don't measure because I like to look at it. And then, but I write a recipe for you guys. So we can, but this is like, I don't know. I didn't really measure it. So look, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of salt, unless you're using a salted butter, which, you know, I never do because I don't like a salted butter. And then we're going to put our garlic. And this is freshly chopped garlic. Put as much or as little as you want. There's no recipe for this, friends. Okay? This is something like, the technique is, Mamma mia, look at this mess I made. The technique is more than reading the recipe. You put as much as you want. You see the fact that the butter is soft, make it easy, right? So look at this bread. I can't believe it. I got a piece of bread. That's the way it came. While we're waiting. All right, so look, guys. We're going to cut it in half anyway because otherwise it's too big, right? We're going to cut. You cut your bread like this, right? And then you make big opening in your bread. Don't cut it all the way through, because you cut it all the way through, you're not gonna have a piece of size you want. You can cut it all the way through later. See, you give it a good 3/4, right? And then you open it up, and you put your butter in there. See, and don't worry about it. You don't have to be very precise, friends. It's more about the technique, See, it's more about the technique. Just put it in there. As much or as little as you want, okay, friends? Right there. You see? I want it to be a quick video today, so I'm doing it quick. See? Right there, right? Get in there, you. Can put it a bit on top, but don't worry about putting it on top. It's not really important. I'll do the other piece later. We'll take an aluminum paper. Let's move this aside. We can do the other one later. We take the piece of aluminum. And don't let anybody tell you the dull side and this is a manufacturing deal, okay? First, I don't like to use aluminum paper. I don't like to cook in aluminum paper. But in this instance, it's the best thing to do. But don't let anybody tell you then the shiny side and the dull side want us to be up, want us to be down. That's not true. It's a manufacturing process. It's when they roll the aluminum paper, it's on the side of the roller, it's more shiny. That's all it is. Just go on the Renault.com and they'll tell you about it. So don't let people tell you, oh, you got to put it up or down. Okay, look, you do this, boom, boom, pop it in a 375-degree oven for about 15 minutes, okay? I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it in my oven. My oven is hot. And I come back in 5 minutes. After it's stayed in there 5 minutes, we're going to open it up. We're going to put a little more butter, a little more Parmigiano Reggiano, and we'll have it ready to go. So we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, friends. I've been told by my producer that I was not very clear on my timing. We're going in the oven 15 minutes, then we're going to take it out, and then we're going to put it on a cookie sheet, and we're going to go back 5 more minutes, just in case I was not very clear. Okay, here we go, friends. We got the first 15 minutes. I don't think it'll be that hot. I mean, it is hard, but it's manageable. When you've been in the kitchen 50 years, you can manage heat in a different fashion, friends. Ooh, yeah. Ooh. It's probably going to be very hot. I think we can handle it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Right? And then we're gonna make it even more special, friends. Oh, look at this one. Doesn't have that much. I didn't put that much on the top, you see? Oh, that one. That's the second one I did. Ha ha. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, friends, we're gonna get more of the butter. We probably can brush it on. Oh yeah. See, look. We're gonna brush it on. And we can do it on the side as well. What do you think? Right? Right. Now we have plenty on the inside, but you can certainly put more on the inside if you wanted to, you know, but there's plenty, you know. If we look at the inside, look at this, see, there's plenty in there, but we can put a little more. We can never have too much, hey, you. We can never have too much butter, right? And then we're going to take a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano. That's just the way I like to do it, but you don't have to do the Parmigiano. That's why we didn't do the Parmigiano at the beginning, because they get all soggy right now. So we'll put this in there, and we're going to go in there 5 minutes. There we go. We'll be back in 5 minutes. All right, friends. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever it takes to get it really hot. And you know what I like to do at the last minute? I still like to brush a little bit of butter on it to make it nice and shiny, you see, to give it a beautiful restaurant look. This, when you go to a restaurant, a good restaurant, and they got garlic bread. That's what it looks like it, you see? And look, all right? Now, let me tell you something, friends. This is a garlic bread, okay? And it's so simple to make, right? Like, look at the inside. Look at this. Look at this, friends. I hope the camera can capture this. Look at this. Look at this, friends. You get a slice of garlic bread right here. And you see, the important thing is when you do slice it almost to the end. Not too much, otherwise it'll fall apart on you, but give it a good 75% of the way, so then you can really yank it out. And you got yourself a slice of bread, you see? Ha! Oh, it's going to be hot. So I would highly recommend you weigh it. Oh, I can't wait. It's crunchy, it's garlicky, but not too much. A little cheese on top, gives it exciting. I hope you make it, friends. Really simple recipe. Well, I hope you enjoyed that garlic bread, and I hope you make it with the next recipe, a Pomodoro sauce. One of the easiest tomato sauce in the world to make. I'm going to show you the perfect technique to do it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I see you at the end of it. Spaghetti Pomodoro, friends. That's one of my favorite pasta dish. Well, you know, I have so many of them. You know, I'm half Italian, half French. Okay, I'm certainly more French than I'm Italian because I grew up in France, but my mom is Italian. My first language, believe it or not, was Italian. But I didn't speak it very much because I think I was like 4 or 5 years old. My dad said, no more Italian in the house. I don't speak Italian. I don't want my kids to speak Italian. We're speaking French from now on. So I had to learn French. So here I am, friends. In the meantime, and then I came to the States. Now I had to learn American English. All right, Pomodoro. Spaghetti Pomodoro. I'm going to make you, this is one of the easiest tomato sauce you've ever made in your life. I promise you. You're going to love it. It's really, really special. So, I got my reduction saucepan that I use on a regular basis, right? You've seen it before. I make sauces with it. I do everything with this. Perfect for this. All right? We're going to put a little bit of basil olive oil if you got it. If you don't have basil olive oil, use a beautiful extra virgin olive oil. Okay? Don't be using one of them 100% pure olive oil. That's 100% pure, you know what. Okay, so it's an extra virgin olive oil. Let me take my fan off because I have a fan to keep me cool in the kitchen and then it blow my flames. So, I'm going to put a little bit of onion. We don't put much onion, you know. We don't have to put that much onion. I love the onion, but in the tomato sauce, the Italians, they don't put that much onion. Many sauces, they don't even put onion. I like the sweetness of it sometimes because the tomatoes need a little sweetness. We're going to let that do its thing. We're going to put the pasta in. This is so simple, you're not going to believe it, friends. I got the water going, a lot of water. We're going to put a little salt. It got to taste like this, like the seawater. Well, last time you had seawater. That's what it got to taste like. It's got to taste like. We got about 3 ounces of pasta per person. Put it in. Don't worry about it. Don't do nothing. Now, a lot of people, they put oil in the water. I don't put oil in the water, but because I got a big pot. Some people say the reason why they put oil in the water is to avoid the water from overflowing. Don't break the pasta. Just let it go in there. That's what they say. It does. It stop the water from overflow. I don't know. I never had an issue because I got big pots. So I got the onion going. Let's talk a little bit about the tomatoes. I'm using cherry tomatoes. And right now, this is the time to use it, my friends. They're sweet. It's amazing. You think they grow with sugar. It's amazing. So you know what I do? I take them and I cut them in half. And look how beautiful that is. Look how beautiful that is, friends. You see? Look at this. This and they're sweet. And you know what I love? I love it because it cooks in a few minutes. We got a tomato sauce that is actually going to cook in no time at all. By the time the pasta are down, guess what? The tomato sauce is going to be done. How cool is that? This is like a 10-minute meal. I'm telling you, this is really quick. Not often I do this. The onion are good. Now we're going to put a little garlic. That's another thing that my mom never did. Never put too much garlic. I think I ended up putting more garlic when I came to America. The Italian, they put very little garlic. Just 1 clove for 2 or 3 dinners. That's enough. So it's right there. Put as much as it makes you happy. Now we're going to take the tomatoes right there. Yeah. We're going to put the tomato. It's easy. This is the easiest. It's all about the tomatoes, my friend. You got good tomatoes. you're gonna get a good Pomodoro sauce, okay? That's all you need is good tomatoes. Really, really simple, right? We're gonna put a little salt. Where's my salt? Where's my salt? Put a little salt. That's gonna help us draw the moisture, draws the water of the tomatoes. And then, you know what's gonna happen? A little pepper, little black pepper. And you know what's gonna happen, friends? The water is gonna come out of the tomatoes, gonna make a liquid. But then you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a potato masher and we're gonna smash it. We're not gonna put the blender or a mixer or anything because that destroys the texture. A tomato sauce is all about the texture. You want the chunkiness of the tomatoes. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squeeze it because I wanna get the pectin in the skin. You see, the pectin is a natural thickener. And that's thicken the tomato sauce. So all the water is not gonna make a watery tomato sauce. Now, let's talk about the basilico. This, look at this. All we're gonna do, so we're gonna put some in there. You're gonna say, you know what? You put the basil now, it's not gonna be as nice as if you put it at the end. I agree. It's not gonna be, so am I putting it in now? I'm putting it in now, friends, because we wanna put some now, and we wanna put some at the end. So we got two levels of fragrance of the basil. We got the basil before, and we got the basil after. And you think you're gonna taste the same? No. The one after the one you put at the end is gonna be much more fragrant. But the one you're putting now, you think it's not gonna taste any good? Oh yeah, it is. And you know what I do? I take the stems. The leaves, I break them. It's very scientific, the way I do this. You notice? Here, there's the one down there. I'm not gonna go because it's gonna be hot. So, look, I take the stem and I put it in here. And you're going to say, well, yeah, I don't want to eat the stem. I don't blame you. I don't eat them either. You know what I do? I take them off. I cook them. And you know what I do? I squeeze them. I squeeze them. And you put them in there, the stems. You're not going to believe it. The stems actually gives a really, really nice flavor. Okay, I got enough basil. What do you think? I got enough right there. All right, so we're going to cook this. You come back over here. I'm going to cook this, my friends. I'm going to cook the pasta. And when I come back, we'll finish the sauce together. This is going to be amazing. I promise you. It's very simple, my friend. It's all about the tomatoes. So you know what I do? When I go to the store and I buy the tomatoes, I buy one container, okay? And when I get to the car, I test it. If it tastes good, I go back and I buy 3 more containers. If it don't taste good, I go to another grocery store because they're not the same. Those were called Pomodoro sweet. And they're like, I'm telling you, you think there's sugar added to it. They're wonderful. It's all about the tomatoes. So don't be buying the tomatoes, then don't have any colors and don't have any flavors. Okay, you got to test them. All right, so I'll be back when the pastas are cooked and when the tomatoes are cooked. Okay, friends, the pastas are ready. So it took about 10 minutes, 12 minutes, depends how long they take. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take my potato masher, which I don't use for potato anyway, because I use the potato ricer when I make a mashed potato, right? And I'm going to squeeze the tomatoes. And then we want to get a better texture. But we also, friends, are going to get the pectin in the skin. And that is what's going to make that sauce so special. Okay, I'll turn the water off because I'm done. All right. And then I'm going to remove my stems of basil. And I'm squeezing them there now anyway, you see. I'm squeezing the whole thing. It smells amazing. The tomatoes smell beautiful. The basil says beautiful. There's a little hint of garlic in the background and comes and kiss you right there. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, my friend. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a little black pepper. I already put some salt earlier. So I'll give a little test to see if it needs more. Let me test it really quick. I'm going to be hot. Be careful, Jean-Pierre. Don't burn yourself. Yeah, I can use more salt. There you go. All right, wonderful. So now, friends, we're taking the pasta. Oh, the basil stems. There you go. Come to Papa, you over there. If I forget one, then I forget one, huh? You know what I tell everybody when they eat in my house? I say, if you find the stems of the basil, you get 2 desserts. So I usually have a smart friends, then goes to the kitchen and gets the basil, puts it in his plate. So he said, I got two. No, he did not. Liar. Oh, let me get a tongue. Here we go, friends. We're going to put a beautiful spaghetti. And don't worry about pasta water. We like a little pasta water in there, okay? We like the pasta water. It's got a little starch in there. Got a little salt in there. That's it. Voila. So now, turn everything off. We're down. Now we're going to mix this up. We're going to put a little more fresh basil. This is how you do it, my friends. Look how beautiful that is. Look at this. My mom would be so proud. Look at this. Is that gorgeous or what, my friends? So what we're going to do, now you're going to put the cheese in here if you want. I like to put the cheese at the end. I'm going to put some Parmigiano Reggiano. If you have never tried Parmigiano Reggiano, friends, please try one time. You know, if you look, a price per pound don't cost any more money than the stuff they put in a box. So what I do is here, look, I take a big ladle like this, and I put it right there, right? And then I take a pasta fork, and then I twist it around. I twist it around. See, look, you take it like this, you twist it around, friends. Right? And then you go like this in a plate, you take it, you twist it, your ladle, and boom, voila. And don't do this. Take a little basil leaf right there, friends. Put it right there. Put it right. You know what I should do? I should put the cheese first. Let me put the cheese first. At the last minute, you see? And go close so you don't mess up your whole plate. Put as much as you want. I'm sure some of you are going to say, oh, I want to put more cheese. Well, you go ahead and put more cheese in yours. That'd be probably everybody in my family. Oh, we're going to need more cheese. We need more cheese. We need more cheese. Here you go. Put more cheese. What's this black thing doing here? Get out of here. Let me turn this off. All right, we're looking good, friends. We're looking good, right? What do you think? You like it? Oh, little fresh black pepper. Right? I'm going to put a drizzle, don't tell anybody, a drizzle of basil olive oil. I could drink that stuff. And then I'm going to put a little basil right there. And look at this, friends. What do you think? Let me get a fork. Let me get a fork. And it's the best moment. Is that beautiful or what? You like it? You like it? I love it. Oh, you know what we could do? Come back over here. One more thing. One more thing. I love my life. Look at this. You take a little bit of sauce right there. You can put as much or as little as you want. Right there. And put more cheese and put the thing right there. And look at this. Beautiful. All right, friends. That's it. Now, I'm going to eat. And then we're going to eat. And voila. We're just going to take a little bite. I'll make a little bite. See, I like to put it in a spoon. It just controls a little bit and makes it a little easier, and then I don't have a huge... Yeah, of course, there's always one that's going to give me trouble. If I wasn't on television, I'd be okay. That's a hot. I love it. More cheese, though. My friends, I hope you make this. It's a fantastic recipe, really easy. Remember, it only took like 10 minutes. Well, I hope you enjoyed the Pomodoro. I told you it was going to be an easy sauce, and it's an amazing. You must try to make it. So now let's go to another video, Egg Benedict. Egg Benedict, it's like, oh, people think it's complicated. I made it very simple. Show you exactly how to poach an egg correctly. Actually, mine you see is overcooked. And also I show you how to make a hollandaise. 3 minutes, and everybody can make it. I know you're going to enjoy the video. Hi there, friends. Let me show you exactly how easy it is to make this fabulous Egg Benedict. As a matter of fact, while I poach the egg, it's going to take me 3 minutes. I'm going to make the hollandaise that quick. Let me tell you, you want to do something special for your better half? Sunday morning, say, stay in bed. I'll be right back. 5 minutes later, bam, you got an Egg Benedict. But what you got to do is you mise en place the night before. I got a brioche toast. You can do English muffin. I don't like it. It's not easy to cut an English muffin on the plate. You know, not unless you got a steak knife. Okay, so I got brioche bread. Then I take a cookie cutter. Boom, boom, I cut it. Ham. You can use Canadian bacon. I don't really care for it. I use a beautiful Black Forest ham. I get it in sliced a little thick, not too thick, and I cut it with cookie cutter so everything is same size. You can use Canadian bacon, which is not even bacon anyway. It's not even ham anyway. Ham is from the hind leg, bacon is from the belly, and the Canadian bacon is from the back. So You want to get some of that? I don't really care for it myself. But if you want a traditional Canadian bacon and English muffin, my way, brioche and beautiful ham. All right, the egg. First thing you got to do, friends, you got to get fresh eggs. And I mean fresh. Go back to the grocery store the night before and you buy fresh eggs. Make sure they're super fresh. Look at the order date. Go in the back and get yourself some fresh eggs. You want them super fresh to do this, okay? Now, what we're going to do, we're going to strain because there's the white, there's the yolk, and there's some watery stuff. We got to get rid of it. So what I do is I strain it. And I want to show you something. You see, there's strainers. There is single mesh, there's double mesh. I figure you can see better if I put my hand on it. See, look, double mesh, single mesh. See, you can see my fingers. Right there, you can't see my fingers. Single mesh, double mesh. You want double mesh. Because if you get single mesh, you'll get rid of all the white. You don't want to do that. So we break it. Now be careful right here, friends. You do not want to break your egg, okay? So we put this right there. I sure I picked the wrong one. And then what we're going to do, you're going to see right there. See, look. Little bit of white, that's too much. We don't need that watery stuff. So what we're going to do now, friends, we got water. In the water, you want to put a little bit of acid and a white vinegar is perfect. Don't worry, you won't even test it. White vinegar is perfect, and you want to create a vortex. You want to make it go around, go around, go around, go around, you see? And then what you do, you take your egg and you slowly put it in. And look, you see? It stays all together. That's all. And if it doesn't, let's say you didn't do a vortex that great, you take your spoon and you put it on top of it like that. But don't worry. We are now going to make the Hollandaise foolproof. A Hollandaise, oh, by the way, don't put any salt in your water, okay? A lot of people put salt in it. It makes it very difficult for the egg to coagulate, so don't do it. Okay, the salt, we're going to put it right here. Here you go, salt, right there in the Hollandaise. We got 3 eggs. We got about a stick of butter that is about at 220 degrees temperature. 200 degrees. At least you got to have a 200 degrees temperature. It's not exactly at 200. I got it at 197 right now. If you don't have one of those, folks, use your thermometer than you use your cooking with. Use your same thermometer that you use your cooking with, and you wait until it gets to about 200. Okay? We're almost there, you see? We're almost there. And now, make sure you don't boil it now, because if you boil the butter, you know what's going to happen, friends? You're going to boil the butter, and it is going to, the butter is going to burn. The milk protein in the butter is going to burn. So be careful. Don't burn it now. All right? I'm almost there. Just wait for a second. And we're going to take it, and we're going to put it in a measuring cup. Now, here's what we do with the egg. Egg yolks. A little bit of water or white wine. And I mean very little. A little bit of lemon. Right? We're going to take that out of the way. I got to get clean up. All right? And now what we're going to do, the butter is here. I'm going to pour the butter into a pouring measuring cup. So I am nice and clean when I pour it. Now, here's what's going to happen, friends. Let me clean this up. What's going to happen now, we're going to mix it. We're going to immerse it. You can do it with your regular blender, okay? If you have a smaller blender. When I was in a restaurant, we used to do that for lunch every day, but we made like 2 gallons of Hollandaise. We sold a lot of Hollandaise. And what we're going to do, we're going to mix it. And then what we're going to do, we're going to add the 200-degree butter, and the butter is going to cook the egg. Pay attention, you watch. You got to do it slowly, okay? Because remember, it's like an emulsion. It's like when we make a mayonnaise, except it's a hot mayonnaise. So we're putting the fat on the egg, and the egg is going to cook, and the egg is going to absorb all this and bind the whole thing. The egg is a binding agent. So you see, do it slowly, like you do the mayonnaise. When you put the oil in the mayonnaise, you do exactly the same thing, friends. You see? Do exactly the same thing. Move it a little bit around, but do it slowly, okay? And I forgot to put my timer for 3 minutes for the egg. You know, when the cameras are on, I forget everything. I forget everything, friends. I don't know about you, but one of these days, I'm going to forget my head. That's what my mom used to say. Don't forget, one day you're going to forget your head. She said, you're lucky it's very well attached. Look. Eventually, the egg is going to be finished. I said, oh, I got to look at the egg. Oh, shoot, I forgot to put the timer. Thank goodness I got a good team here. Otherwise, I'd be in big trouble, friends. So we're looking good. We're looking good. We're looking good. We're looking good. And right there, my friends, you got a beautiful, smooth as silk hollandaise. Look at this. Look at this, my friend. Okay, now we can season it a little bit more. And you know what I like to put on mine? Oh, mamma mia. I'm told then the eggs are done. Let's go back to the hollandaise in a minute. We're going to take it. We're going to take the egg right there. And look what I'm doing. I'm taking it, I'm putting it in ice water. And you're going to say, why are you putting it in ice water? Because that'll make it so easy. If you want to prepare in advance, let's say you want to prepare this in advance. The night before, you can do this. You can prepare everything the night before, especially if you got a special breakfast you want to prepare. Okay, you got to prepare it in advance. So you get them like that, you can put them in the fridge. And you know what I like to do? I'll tell you what I like to do, my friends. I like to actually, now I know some of you are going to think I'm a nut, but what I like to do, that's my classical training. I like to cut the excess a little bit, to make them look pretty. You see, look. I like to make them look a little pretty right there, see? You don't have to do this, but, right? But it's more elegant. I just think it's more elegant. Do you think? I think they look gorgeous. You see right there? All right, so now how do we serve them? Well, we're going to take them again. We're going to take them again, and we're going to put them in water for 30 seconds. Please, somebody let me not forget 30 seconds. 30 seconds, okay? We got a timer on. We got a timer on. All right, let's prepare the plate, my friends. Let's do it real quick. This is going to be a quick one. Let me clean up. I got 30 seconds. I got all the time in the world. Oh, yeah. I got all the time in the world. I want to make sure I don't have too much of a mess, because I don't like a mess. So I don't like it here, but I put it over there. So here we go. Plate. Jean-Pierre, get a plate. Let's see how we're looking. Oh, yeah, baby. Look at this. Look how beautiful that is, friends. Look at this. This is gorgeous. So you season however you want it. Let me take this and put it right there. All right. So, like I said, English muffin, if it makes you happy. I like brioche. And my beautiful ham, I just sauteed in butter. I saute this in butter. Now I'm going to take my eggs out. Oh, mamma mia. I almost forget. When you take... I'm going to have a nickname, the Forgotten Chef. He forgets everything. I need a spoon with holes in it. And guess what? Oh, here it is. I was going to say they stole my spoon. There's nobody stealing anything around here. Oh, yeah, baby. Look at him. Look at this. It's beautiful. You see? Very simple, right? Now we're going to take him. We're going to let him drain just a little bit. Right? We're going to let him drain just a little bit. Oh, yeah, baby. Come over here. You. Oh, yeah. And you come over here. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're fragile babies. Oh, yeah. Come over here. Right there. Now we're going to take our sauce. Let me get a spoon. Let me turn everything off here. Let's get a spoon. Oh, yeah, baby. Look at this. This is gorgeous. Now, you want to put as much or as little as it makes you happy. Okay? I don't like it too much. I think, I love it. I love the sauce, but I think it's more elegant if you put very little. But put as much as you want. And I keep putting it on. All right? So now we're going to take a couple of chives. Be elegant, friends. Be elegant. Just put a little bit, eh? Yeah. Don't put too much. Right there. And that's all you need. That's all you need, my friends. What do you think? Fabulous egg Benedict. I'm going to eat it now. That's the best part of the afternoon, is I'm going to eat it. I got to get myself a knife. I want to cut it. I want you guys to see. Let me get a knife right there. I want you to see. Oh, yeah, baby. All right, which one do we cut? Now, you see, the beautiful thing is, if you got an English muffin, you need a steak knife. Here, you don't need a steak knife. You got brioche and ham. Not hard Canadian bacon. Oh, look. Pay attention, friends. Pay attention. Look, you see? See? If you want more or if you want to less cook, you leave it in there more than 3 minutes. You see? Now, this one might be just a little bit more cooked. Let's check this guy. Oh, yeah. You see this one? This one is a little less cooked. So, look. Look at this, friends. Is that gorgeous? Look. I can't speak with my mouth full. Mouthful. Folks, easy. Remember, mise en place, you have it already in advance. Takes a minute. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. I told you it was going to be easy to make an eggs Benedict and a Hollandaise, right? Guarantee, foolproof. And now, one of my favorite and the easiest dessert in the world to make is a black cherry custard pie, black cherry Clafoutis. Oh, you're going to love making that. You know, my mom used to make that and leave the pit in the cherries. Watch the video. I know you're going to enjoy it. Okay, friends, I'm going to show you how to make that Clafoutis, cherry custard pie. This got to be one of the easiest desserts in the world, okay? I promise you, folks, everybody can make this dessert exactly the same way I did it. I promise you, okay? I did it one day on the Today Show in like 4 minutes. So I know you can do it. I'm going to take my time today because at the Today Show, you don't have time to explain anything. You just do it. And so, very simple. You need a blender. You need a pie mold, a lasagna pan, and a bunch of ingredients. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare my pie pan. All I'm going to do is put a little non-stick spray in there, right? It looks like a lot, but it's not. We're going to take it right there, and we're going to put it in a lasagna pan big enough to hold the whole thing. Now we're going to make the custard pie. We're getting fresh cherries because fresh cherries are in season right now. You can't get fresh cherries? Don't worry. You can get good dark pitted black cherries in syrup in a can. They're delicious. They're nice and firm. You can get them frozen. Not quite the same, but you can. If you don't have cherries, you can make them with apricot. Cut the apricot in half, remove the pits, because they're hard. Remove the pits and put the cut side in the bottom of the pie and make exactly the same custard. Okay? Blackberries? No, not blackberries. Blueberries. They got to be a firm fruit. You can't do it with raspberry because they kind of fall apart, you know? So blueberry works, apricot works, pear. If you have nice ripe pear, those work great. Cut them in half, remove the seeds, put them cut side down also, where the pointy part goes in the middle in the pan. And that also is a beautiful pear Clafoutis. It's called Clafoutis. So now, we got the pits. You want to remove the pits. I got to tell you a story. I'm always telling you a story. By the way, you need a cherry pitters for this. You see, look. You take your cherry, right? You put it right in here. And then you, boom, remove the pit. Look, I do it again. It's very cool. It's like a gun. Oh, this is not a very nice one. So you got to go through them, right? So you take it right there. That's not a nice one. What is going on? Look, that's not a nice one either. I got a bunch of rotten cherries. So here we go. Look, take it. Right there. Right? And bam. I don't know where it went. It went out there somewhere. All right? So you do this. Get all the pits out. Now, I got to tell you something, a funny story, right? When we were kids, my mom was a cordon bleu chef, so my mom was always making fabulous dessert. And I live in Provence. I grew up in the south of France in Provence, in a small village called the Tenderloin. And it's next to Aix-en-Provence, next to Marseille, and when it's in the south of France, right? And we had a big black cherry tree. And my mom, in this time of the year, when the big cherries would come out, big black cherry trees, she would make us a cherry Clafoutis. And we were 5 kids, and she barely had time to cook it, barely had time to cool it. We would swallow the whole thing, and she would say, "You kids don't appreciate nothing. You don't even eat it, you swallow it." That's what kids do. You swallow the whole thing. She said, "I got to slow them down." So she figured out, said, "I'm going to leave the pits in there." So we would eat it. She said, "Be careful, there's pits in there." And sure enough, there was a bunch of pits in there. You know what? We loved eating it so much more with a pit. Not because the pit tastes like anything. They don't taste like anything, right? They really don't taste like anything. But you keep it in your mouth longer. Because remember, the taste buds are on the tongue and in the wall of your mouth. By the time you swallow the food, it's all over. You don't taste it anymore. You have to keep it in your mouth. That's why when you have wine or olive oil, you want to taste, you keep it in your mouth for a while. Well, same deal. So if you have kids that eat too fast and you're making this, keep a few pits in there. Or you know what I tell everybody to do? I remove the pit, but every so often you miss one. So you tell them, no matter what, be careful, there's pits in there. Then they don't believe you. So we sprayed, right? We sprayed the mold. So now we put the cherries in there, right? Put enough to fill up the whole thing. You fill up the whole bottom for sure, and then put a little bit extra. Okay, not too many extra, otherwise you're not going to have room for your custard, right? Just like that. Put your fruit in the bottom, and now we're going to make the custard. If you cannot do this dessert, you have an issue, okay? I don't know what it is, but it's an issue. So look, it's very simple. 5 eggs. A cup and half and half, a cup of cream. If you don't have half and half, they use milk. It works with milk also. It really does work with milk, right? Oh, let me take those out. Then a cup and a quarter of sugar. Depends how sweet your cherries are. Very sweet, you know. Cup of flour. I always like to put a pinch of salt, remember. You're baking a pinch of, you're not going to test it. It's just going to be in there. It's going to help. A little bit of vanilla. I like to use Tahitian vanilla. Measure carefully. About a tablespoon and a half of, not that you're going to measure. Don't take the spoon and put it in there, you know. And then you start your machine, and then you're going to puree this. Don't puree it too long. Let me tell you why you don't want to puree too long. If you puree too long, you're going to create a lot of air bubble in there. And if you create air bubble, it's going to rise. And like anything that rises, eventually it comes down. Well, that's what's going to happen. It is going to come down, folks. So here it is, right there. All we're going to do is we're going to take this mixture and we're going to pour it in here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this in here. Don't create too many air bubbles. You create too many air bubbles, it's going to rise up and up and up, then it's going to fall down, and when it falls down, it doesn't look really pretty, friends. So here we have it. Here we have it, here we have it, here we have it right there. Just make sure it's completely submerged, and then we're going to put a water bath. We're going to put them in a water bath. You see, look at this recipe, fits perfect, the whole mold right there. Right? And then what I do is I take a fork or a spoon and I submerge everything. And we're just going to bake it just like that, friends. And let me tell you, this is a fabulous. Then I take hot water, hot water, and I pour it in here, right there, and about halfway. And we're going to pop it in the oven. And we're going to bake them for about an hour at low temperature. 250 temperature, very low temperature. Let me open up my oven. So by the time I get there, I don't have to worry about it. Oh, man, this is food. Holy mackerel. It's a good thing I'm not drinking. I'm going to put them in there just like this. Right. Oh, well, I did it without screwing up. I'm not that good with that kind of stuff. Here we go. We're going to bake them. Remember, when you bake a custard, you want to do it at a low temperature for a long time. You don't want the custard to boil. You don't want the water to boil. You certainly don't want the custard to boil, otherwise it creates air bubble. So we're going to take them out of the oven, and we'll get back to you in about an hour from now. Okay, well, I left it in the refrigerator overnight. After all, I think it's better if you leave it there. 4 or 5 hours may not be quite enough unless your fridge is really, really cold. Do it overnight, you're good. At this point, I want to end mold it. Now, remember, we did put a little nonstick spray in here, and if you did enough of it, you'll see then it's not really attached to the side. You don't really need a knife to do it. You shouldn't need a knife to do it. But I'll tell you what, I have a trick. I take some hot water right there, and I put it in there just for a minute. What that's going to do, that's going to help us and mold it, okay? Just a little bit of hot water. Same lasagna pan that we cooked it in. Remember, we cooked this in a water bath, right? Same deal, just to get that lasagna, that pan just a little hot. And it should come out pretty easy. Just make sure you have some really, really hot water in there. And what we're going to do, we're going to take it out. Now, Sometimes it comes out really easy and sometimes not so easy, yeah? So let's say today, hopefully it's gonna be an easy one, right? I just take it out of there, leave it in there long enough, don't be afraid. Then your lasagna pan, your pie pan has to be a little warm, okay, when you do it. Dry it out so you don't have to deal with all that water, right? Dry it out. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a large plate, I'm gonna put it on top, and I'm gonna do one of those, and hopefully it'll come out. I'm gonna grab it by the ears, right? And I'm gonna flip it. I'm not gonna flip it, I'm just gonna put it upside down, okay? And now at this point, you can do one of those, or, and that's not helping, okay? Or you can take a knife. I obviously didn't leave it long enough, it's still cold, but you know, I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you guys can see right here, but you see right there? Right there, look. It's coming loose. Can you see it? Can you see it right there? And you see it right there? Look, it's coming loose. You see? Oh, look, boom. I didn't have to do a thing. So, but no, otherwise, here's what you do. You take a knife and you give it a little air pocket. That's all it needs, just a little air pocket in there. And look right there, okay? So now, we're looking good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it like this. Okay, 2 plate, right? Very simple, eh? Whoop. Voila. And voila. A little bit here, but no big deal. Now we're going to take some powdered sugar. Just a little bit of powdered sugar. You don't need a lot now. Don't go out there and put too much powdered sugar so you can't see the cherries anymore, right? Just a little bit of powdered sugar. Oh, yeah, baby. Just check it out, right? Very simple. Here I'm saying, don't put too much powdered sugar, and here I am putting like a 1/4 pound of powdered sugar. And then you get some beautiful cherries, and you have it right there. This is very simple, friends. Don't make it too complicated. Right there. You can put a little amount of cherries right there. Here you go, friends. We got a beautiful cherry clafoutis. Very simple. Let me tell you. Leave a few bits for the kids so they don't eat it too fast and they appreciate it. You can make this. It's very simple. Don't forget to subscribe, folks, so you can get my other recipe coming up. Make that recipe. You're going to love it. Well, I hope you try to make that beautiful clafoutis. Easy, I promise you're going to love it. Well, this is the end of it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed this format. If you did, make sure you leave a comment down there. And don't forget, thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.